Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Wednesday. I know we said that we're only going to do one day a week, but we decided to come here at least this week in the middle of the week to just talk about some things because I know you guys miss us and all that. So anyway, welcome to I don't know if this is the Demetra K show. Don't believe the hype is something. So anyway, today we are going to be talking about Dr. Dre and his mega divorce settlement. It has a lot of people upset. Basically, and we'll get into it, but a lot of people are mad, kind of pocket watching and, saying that's a whole lot of money. And, he shouldn't have to pay her that and a whole bunch of stuff. And so we're going to get into that discussion here. And I want to say before we get started, thank you to Donovan, a recovering Democrat, for being here. As always, he's always here, right? And to YouTube and Facebook, the other side of the conversation. You all are not just viewers, but you are participants. We don't believe in just letting you guys sit there and watch us talk or listen to us talk. We believe that you should be heard too. So this is probably one of the only shows that reads each and every comment. Also like to say a big giant thank you to Marcus Guyton for everything he does behind the scenes in making the show go further on Facebook. So Donovan, what say you before we get started?
All right, you guys, welcome to a special edition of Demetra K Show. We are glad that you are here. It is cold. The snow has fell on the mountains here. So it's cold outside. When my animals don't want to go outside, it is cold, okay? And, Demetra knows, being living here years, the best time to be in Southern California, living in the desert, is in the wintertime. But I am appalled. Get that block game going, by the way. I am appalled at Dr. Dre and men just having to pay this exorbitant amount of money. Demetra and I were talking a few days ago, and we were talking about like when a man brings up the question of what does a woman bring to the table? And the woman says, just me. The table, ladies, is the relationship. Okay. A man expected to work, do all this other stuff. In Dr. Dre's situation, and I'm going to ask you guys this question because I think it's a really serious question. What did this woman do to get $100 million? We're going to answer those questions.
Yes, we are. And I dropped some of my notes. All right. So anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and get started. And if you guys could please share this and give it a thumbs up. So I guess the algorithms could do what it does. And also share so that everybody else can get this information and come on in and have this conversation with us. All right. So as you guys may or may not know, Dr. Dre and his ex-wife now, Nicole Young, have finally settled their divorce. And so they, I guess, completely divorced now. But within that divorce settlement, he paid her $100 million. Oh, my God. So a lot of people are freaking out because he paid her $100 million. And so within that divorce settlement, he paid her $100 million, but he gets to keep 7 homes. One of them is worth $100 million. He gets to keep all rights to his masters, his trademarks and interest in different partnerships and things that he has. He also gets to keep all of his Apple stocks, in which, got him to the billionaire status due to his Beats by Dre. So he's worth about $820 million by himself. They had to split their fleet of cars. So I think he ended up with 6.
His fleet of cars.
He ended up with 6. She ended up with 4, something like that.
She wasn't even in the cars.
She gets to keep all of her stuff because they had a storage. And so
she didn't have anything until they got together.
She gets to keep all of her stuff. They had a bunch of storage stuff, I guess, that, was connected to a lot of their houses. And so she gets to keep stuff that belonged to her, her jewelry and things like that. She also does not get spousal support. So, most of the time when a person settles, they end up getting some sort of a spousal support, or whatever. I forget the technical name of it, but they end up getting that for a certain amount of time until they get married. And a lot of times
or there's a stipulation if you get spousal support sometimes until she remarries. That incentivizes the woman never to remarry.
Right. Well, so she doesn't get that. She's not getting that. And of course, some people are saying, well, she probably would have gotten more had she not hotly contested the divorce in the first place. You guys remember he said she took a bunch of money out of one of their accounts and, was doing a lot. So for a lot of people would say. All right. So those are the facts as we know it, as it's been reported.
Quick question. Quick question for you. Okay. 80% of all divorces are initiated by women. That's a fact. 80% of women are leaving the marriages, but 80%. That's fact, statistical, whatever. She wants out. Okay, now if I was Dr. Dre, I would have done a Trump thing and just exhausted her thing out. Why is it that if she leaves the relationship, he has to pay her court fees?
Well, that's not true in this case. She has to pay her own.
Yeah. No, I know that, but I'm talking about women in general. Why is it that when she chooses to leave, he has to pay the court fees?
I'm not sure how in general that is. But she has to pay her own legal fees, which is into the millions of dollars. And so, when we weigh all of that and you say, oh my God, he had to pay her $100 million. Now let's also, and I'm gonna get to you guys' comments. So just bear with us just a second. But when you say, oh my God, he had to give her $100 million, he was married to that woman for 25 years and they have children together. So this is not just some woman that he ended up with, a couple of years ago, and they didn't build anything together. Because you got to remember, a lot of that stuff that he has now, he acquired during the marriage. And so it sounds like he was very fortunate that he was able to keep a lot of that stuff. And anybody can even fathom Dr. Dre master collection, his masters, they're worth, it's probably no amount of money that we can even think of about what they're worth. And
wait, and do you know what's crazy? He's not even talking about the masters when he worked on Ruthless Records. He's talking about the aftermath and other projects outside of that.
Masters.
Yeah, but he doesn't own the Ruthless ones. Tamika still owns that, right?
Right. Well, she was saying too that she should get part of the masters because she helped him build his Dr. Dre brand. And so the course was like, no, that's a lie. So anyway, me and Donovan want to have a discussion with you guys and see what your thoughts on this. Of course, I have my own thoughts and I'll say them throughout the show as Donovan will too. But Donovan, what say you before I get to these comments?
Well, again, I know we shouldn't be, and Robin makes a good point. We shouldn't be pocket watching. We don't know exactly who did what and what did who, but as we know, the court system is unequally against the man in child support situations, family support situations, and just about any support situation as the woman goes into the victim role. And I'm not trying to shame her or what. Like you said, I agree with Robin. We shouldn't be pocket watching, but this also goes to show you how inherently unfair it is, because we were talking earlier and I was watching a show where these women were talking about, oh, we're equal. Well, this lady was a lawyer. Where's her money? What does he get? What does he get from her and what she built? She was a lawyer. Nobody ever brings that stuff up. So, okay, I agree. He should get half of his empire. Where's her half? She was a lawyer. Where's her half? What did she bring to the table?
Well, they're in California. So anybody knows in California, I mean, they have a unique set of divorce laws and child support and all of that type of stuff. But I mean, he knew that. He married her knowing good and well that she didn't have what he had. So, I mean, whose fault is that really? Whose fault is it really that he married her and per your argument, she don't have anything. He doesn't have to share, he doesn't get half of her stuff. He knew that. So I don't understand what the argument really is.
Well, how do you take half of mine and I can't take half of yours?
Well, that's not the way.
Wait. Even if you only had $100, I should be entitled to half of that.
Well, that's not the way the laws work in California.
I know it's all for the woman. She's a victim. I know.
Well, but no, that's not true, because there's a lot of women who, and I'm not saying it's more women than men. There's a lot of women who have to pay child support who are making more money than the husband or the father, or whatever the case is.
Yeah, but statistically, it is a small, minute comparatively.
Right. Well, don't get married in California. All right. So news from the Edge. How you doing? He says, welcome to the Demetra K Show. Yes, indeed. And Robin, how you doing? He says, hey, good evening. And Easy, how you doing? He says, hello, D and Donovan and family. And Donovan's cat, he keeps kissing. See, listen, brother, you keep kissing that cat, you ain't gonna be able to, you know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. I'm sending out a subliminal message.
Oh. Easy, how you doing? It says, hello, D and Donovan and family. Olivia, what is going on with you? Says, oh, I have a lot to say. Hello, everyone. And Robin, you also say, why people upset? She was married to him since 1996. He chose her $100 million as just a nice parting gift. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand some of these dudes out there. Y'all really, and I guess some women, y'all really upset over $100 million. And I saw this one dude, I ain't gonna say his name. He's Kevin Samuels. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm probably gonna get in some trouble, but I'm gonna try to say it the best way I can. I don't understand what's up with all these men who clearly don't like women, profiting off of talking bad about women, and mostly Black women. Like this one cat I happened upon his show not too long ago. He is definitely, dealing with a lot of sweet and low. And he's sitting up talking bad about, women, and he talks bad about Black women. He's a Black dude. I'm like, this dude don't want no parts of Donovan's cat. But yeah, he always talking bad about women. But I get it. It's a hustle. So anyway, yeah, I mean, let's keep going. And Moni, how you doing? It says, hi, Demetra and Donovan. I didn't know you guys would be on today. What made you decide to pop on Wednesday? Are you not coming back on Sunday? And is it just going to be a new time? Yes, we'll always be here on Sunday, but we just decided to do a show today. Guess we needed something to do. I don't know. But how you doing? And Easy, you say nothing. News from the Edge Mind says, ain't no kitty cat worth over $10. That's why y'all itching where y'all ain't supposed to scratch. And
wait. Did Michelle A get anything? She got a baby for him. Where's her parting gift?
I mean, I'm sure she got some child support. I don't know if they were married though. I don't know.
They were never married. You saw the documentary where she got beat. A football hit you. You got it. You got it.
And Easy says nothing, Donovan. And Olivia says he would have had to pay at some point. He didn't. He did the real Black women dirty and thinks that he can get over to another race that only really wants his money. That's a good point. I mean, he didn't really, I don't know what he paid the Black women, but sounds like, not as much as he paid Nicole.
Well, he only married the woman that divorced him. So, I mean, see, here's another problem I have with the way system is. I'm not saying a man should not take care of his responsibilities. I'm getting kind of tired that the side chick is getting equal to the wife. Do you see what I'm saying? The benefits she's getting, I'm not saying she shouldn't, she shouldn't be elevated to the same thing as a wife. She's not the same thing.
Right. I'm probably pixelating here a little bit. I don't know what's going on.
Fine. No, you're fine.
Okay. If I pixelate, it'll come back. Sorry about that. So anyway, let's get into the comments. And so Robin says she was married to him. Nobody up here can honestly say what she contributed or didn't contribute to the marriage. Stop hating and pocket watching. Absolutely. And that's exactly what it is. I mean, to me, like I said, it's chump change to a champion, but it's unimaginable to a chump. You know what I mean? You got dudes running around here who having a hard time paying $5 in child support, and you mad at him paying $100 million. He's paying that because it's nothing to him, right?
Right.
So, and Olivia, you say his whole family on his last wife's side will end up becoming white, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. So basically, she might marry a white dude. I don't know. I don't even know what she is. Because I know in the movie, the NWA movie, they tried to portray her as, a light-skinned sister. But I think maybe she's white. I don't know. Y'all tell me.
You're going to give this woman who you were married to all this money, but you won't help your daughter out.
Well, that's not true. He did help his daughter out, and his daughter's a fully grown woman.
Right. No. What? Oh, wait. That's the same argument. This is a fully grown woman who's a legal lawyer. Why do you need my money? Walk away, baby. Just walk away.
No. He's not obligated to take care of his grown daughter. She got 4 kids by a bunch of dudes, so he has.
So how is he obligated to take care of his grown wife?
Because that's what the law says. The law says that you was married to this woman and y'all not together no more. And so y'all need to figure out the assets and all of those things. Now, he's not obligated to a grown child. That's what the difference is.
Right. But I'm saying is to pay her that absorbent amount of money, and not give your daughter $50,000. I'm just saying, it's it looks bad on him. It does look bad on him.
You know what the problem I'm shaking this desk. The problem that I have is like, especially, and I'm gonna get to y'all comments, but like that's a grown child that he has helped. Up until recently, he was paying her rent and helping her along those lines. But then she started to talk greasy about her daddy. Hell, I'm not taking care of you either if you out there dirtying up my name. And the other thing is, I don't owe you nothing. What I do for you as my child is because I want to. I don't owe you anything, especially if you out there acting crazy.
Isn't that the same argument you can use toward the wife?
No.
Yes.
It's not the same argument. Because if y'all married for 25 years, she evidently has helped him get some of those things. And per California law, what you acquired during the marriage usually gets split. Doesn't sound like that was the case.
Okay, where's her part then? Where is her part?
She don't have to have a part if he's making more money than she is. And another thing that y'all pocket watchers, I'm sorry, y'all, give me a second. Another thing that y'all pocket watchers are forgetting to talk about is that was their money, their assets when they were together. So it wasn't like she was saying, oh, honey, can I get $1? I want to go to the store. She had access to that money. So y'all not seeing it the way it was. Y'all seeing the aftermath, no pun intended, that he had to write her $100 million check. But that money, all that money was hers when they was together.
Oh, no, I agree wholeheartedly. So the moral of the story, fellas, do not get married in California. Matter of fact, don't get married at all.
That's not good advice. But let me get to these comments.
Go ahead. I'm messing with you.
Blood pressure. Okay, so Olivia say, no. I know Moni said, so, okay, I read that one. Look, no, you said, so glad to see you guys. Definitely always Detroit love to you. Every time I'm looking forward to seeing you guys more. I think if Dr. Dre got to pay his woman $100 million, he's abusive. Ooh, I don't know about that. And Ace, how you doing? Long time no see. And Easy, you say, all of his stuff. Okay. And then you say she wanted to get paid after Apple bought his brand. Yeah, she wanted some of that too, but she didn't get it. And if you guys are on Facebook watching this and you want us to see your comment, click on the link and I would love to read it. Olivia says everything is based on their own situation, Donovan, and you know that. And Marty says Dr. Dre has the money, Donovan, he used to jump on Michelle constantly and other women. I do not feel sorry for this man because he's very abusive and you're going to reap what you sow.
See, now, wait a minute, Moni, and I know we got to get to these comments. We don't know the relationship. I have to agree with, what's her name? We don't know all of that. Robin and Olivia, I have to agree with them. We don't know what went on in that relationship. That was something portrayed in a movie. We don't know that. See, that's what crazy about you women. You see a movie or something and you guys run with it. There's no way Ike was beating Tina's ass that was depicted in the movie, breaking her jaw or all that stuff she said in the book, and you go and sing. That you guys don't believe the hype. Just don't believe it.
And Robin says 100 million is really nothing compared to all that she's walking away from. Good point. And Sean, how you doing? He says, what? Morning says the major start letting us know. Says Demetri, start letting us know early on Sunday when you're going to have an extra day so that we can support you and Donovan with your wonderful show. I adore you both, you guys. Well, if I know in advance, I definitely will do that, or at least try to let you know earlier in the day. Sean says, I'm glad that the brother didn't get hit hard. And Tracy, how you doing? He says Black First Family. And Olivia says lawyers. She brought lawyers for him. And Sunlight, how you doing? He says, well, surprise, surprise. Hello, family. Yes, indeed. And Easy says, I see all females gonna side with her. And Robin says she's walking away with just 100 million, 4 vehicles, furs, jewelry, etc. She actually lost. She didn't walk away with a home or anything substantial. Exactly. Compared to all the stuff that they did have, right? And Martin says, so she really didn't lose much. Let's be clear. He had to pay out something, but he still comes out on top. He's agreed, stricken buzzard. Damn, agreed, stricken buzzard. And while I like some of his music, I say you reap what you sow. And Leo, son, how you doing? Long time no see. He says his reported net worth in 2021 is 820 million. I think Dre will be all right. Exactly. And Sean says, didn't he have a prenup? That's why he didn't get hit hard. Yes. And she tried to say that there wasn't one or something like that. And he was like, no.
Or she signed it under coercion.
Yeah, but he was like, So, he was thinking ahead, if you will. And Olivia says she was also a victim of his hands as well. So the hell with Donovan today. Well,
we don't know that.
Says.
Yeah, that's that's allegations. Like I said, okay, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I don't know. I wasn't there. You guys weren't there. But okay, I just have a question, and I'm speaking from a man. I'm speaking as a man. Okay, if somebody assaulted me, why aren't you ladies putting it on paper and filing a report to go with your allegations, maybe later on down the road or something like that? Right now, it's he say, she say.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing on paper to say he did that. So that's kind of what she says. And Sunlight says 100 million of another man's money. Yeah, makes sense. And Mona says, I don't see nobody saying for all the time that man was whooping on her behind, she deserves that. It's like, just like when you are incarcerated, you deserve millions for every year. Why is the marriage exempt? Again, that's her word against his. Nobody really knows. And we know that divorces are nasty. We never heard of him doing that to her until they were getting divorced. Now, I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm just saying this sounds kind of odd. I don't know. And the last thing that Negro is going to do is beat on that white woman, okay? He might beat on the sisters.
And again, ladies, we get it as men. We get it. You villainize us in the courts. It makes you look like a victim. And we know how that thing works. I'm not saying it didn't happen. All I'm saying is, why in the world do you guys let these men beat up on you and you don't document it?
And Sean, you say, well, glad she wasn't white. I don't know. To me, she looks white, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. And then Easy says, Donovan, you got to keep that cat out my face. Thunder, how you doing? And Gilberto says, good afternoon, Black First Family. And on early, are we? Laugh out loud. Yes, indeed. And how you doing, by the way? And Sunlight says, did they get this same thing? So you're talking about the sisters that he was with? Doesn't sound like it. I don't know if he was married to any of them.
He was only married to this woman. He had
so,
baby mamas. He had a baby mama before Michelle A. And all that other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because the child that Donovan was talking about is in her 30s. Dr. Dre is damn near 60. So the child that Donovan was talking about is, fully grown woman, right? And News from the Edge says, Donovan is a genius. Speak on it, brother. Okay. Hey, Brother Jonelle, how you doing? It says, peace, Queen, Brother Donovan and fam. And Terrell, what's going on? He says, he got off easy if you ask me. I think so, too. And Olivia says, you're mentally on the worst level for that statement, Donovan. Mona says, Dimitri, your screen is freezing. Some of your words are going in and out, and I don't know why. Donovan, remember, this is who laughs last will always laugh the best. Dimitri, you always remember that. And sorry about that. I don't know why I was pixelating, but hopefully it'll hold. So forgive me.
But Moni, did you see once I guess he got cleared that he was going to finally divorce? Seems like he was laughing pretty good because he put it up on Instagram. He was happy to be gone.
$100 million, like, okay. And Leo Son says, I don't get the IRE either. It says 24 years of marriage and 2 kids. She's also an attorney. There is no telling how she contributed to helping him build that wealth. Exactly. I mean, I doubt she was just sitting there for 25 years filing her nails and eating bonbons, because that's what people envision, I think.
Well, okay. And I agree with you guys with that. But how many women have PhDs and have all this debt and yet they still want a man to take care of them? I mean, you got to look at it how men think. I mean, think about that. There are a lot of women that have PhDs and you ask, what do you want? Oh, I got to find me a man to help me pay off all this stuff and take care of me. Well, why did you go through all this and accumulate all this debt if you just wanted a man to take care of you?
I think what y'all really failing to realize as men folk is that when people get in a relationship, they ain't thinking about all of that. He clearly loved this woman at one point in time and she loved him and all of that. They wasn't thinking about what was going to happen now. They did what a lot of you won't do. And I'm going to paraphrase Nasir Jones. He said people was making fun of me for marrying Khalees and she wanted half of his money. He says, but basically, y'all some busters. At least I made her an honest woman. At least I married her. He said, y'all won't even marry y'all. None of y'all baby mamas. So don't say nothing about me. But the point being, they got together thinking everything was going to be okay. They didn't see today happening. So anyway.
And nobody does.
Yeah. So Sean says, laugh out loud. Olivia says she's not Black, just like Oh, Phil's wife, although you would not agree, but he did his daughter dirty before she was grown. Well, I mean, sounds like after she was grown, he tried to make it right by paying a lot of money for an apartment and things like that. And I just want to say this really quick. I mean, no, I'm not. I'm gonna be quiet. Let me just keep going. And Thunder says, he was helping his daughter, but she started bad mouthing him and he cut her off. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Y'all, listen, I'm gonna have to lean back on this one. I get it. Some people we just flat out don't like. I get it if you don't like Dr. Dre for a whole bunch of reasons, and he's done some things for people not to like him. But let's not leave out the truth. Let's not just say, well, he didn't do nothing for his daughter, because it's a lie. He did help his daughter. And the other fact is, she started bad mouthing her daddy. How in the world are you going to bite the hand that's feeding you and your 4 babies, that you got a plethora of baby daddies, and ain't none of them Negroes around to do the job that your daddy is doing, but you're going to sit up and talk bad about your father who is helping you? Come on now. Y'all, sometimes we just got to really just like do the math and make sense of some stuff. I'm just saying. And Monty says, I put it another way. Same thing that'll make you laugh at one person, Demetri, one day. Turn around and make you cry. Many people are hating on this woman, but they never went through the abuse like her. Well, do we know she actually went through the abuse? We don't know that.
Right. I mean, Moni, again, we weren't in the relationship. So again, we get it, ladies. You guys play the victim role. You guys go in there. He beat me. You guys all have the same story when you're going through a situation like this. You go to the violence and you play into the stereotype of black men. We're violent. We're this and we're that. We get it. She got her money. Let's move on.
And Leo Sun says she didn't get half. Quit y'all whining. # rich people's problems. Exactly. She didn't get nowhere near half.
Yeah, she got 1/8. 1/8.
Yeah. And a Super Sam Clark, how you doing? He says greetings, and this brother Samuel, by the way, says greetings. D&D. The system is generally against men, and marriage. Was his wife black? If so, that's a good thing. Mostly rich black men marry white women and take that money out of the community. So I don't think she's black. I don't know what she is at all. And then Robin says he was married to his wife. The man is supposed to lead in the marriage. The man is the head. He don't owe his daughter nothing. Exactly.
Agreed.
And Sunlight says, Demetri, no worries. I get it. Shaking my head. And Old School, how you doing? You say, yeah, men shouldn't get married. I'm going to say really quick, and I want to get to these comments. I hear a lot of y'all say that, but I think it's a cop-out because, and I'm just going out here and say this, I think a lot of men say that is because y'all don't want to do the work. Y'all want to just walk into a marriage. And listen, I'm not saying there's not no scuzzy women out there who do men dirty. There is. But for you just to not get married, but then wait. Then y'all be the main one talking about, almost 80% of black women ain't married. But y'all run around talking about I ain't gonna get married. And then we gonna marry a white man. Like that sister, she got her Brad. So pick a struggle, brothers.
Well, again, everybody has both sides. What I'm saying is the system does not incentivize us to get married. And again, people wouldn't rush into marriages if it wasn't so easy to get out of them. Irreconcilable differences. We didn't have that until the 70s. Oh, that was Generation Fail that came up with that bullshit. But anyway, this is what I'm saying. It's like the system for black, it doesn't incentivize us to get married, or men in general, doesn't incentivize us to get married. It doesn't. If anything, you sisters that are married should be mad that the system is giving status to the side chicks. I would be mad about that.
I mean, I would be mad more at my dude for having a side chick. See, y'all want to
of course you're going to be mad about that. But what I'm saying is, okay, I was in the military, right? Now, how many of you guys know that if you're a married person in the military and you stay with that man or woman who's in the military for 7 years, she's entitled to 30% of your retirement if you make the military career. If you stay with that person for 10 years, she's entitled to half of your pay. Now, the caveat is if she remarries, let's say you retired and you're giving her half your pay, she doesn't get anything. The system is incentivizing her not getting married so she could continue to get that income coming in, even though I've moved on and I've remarried or whatever 30 or 40 years later. The system is just, brothers, we need to get more people elected to rewrite these laws.
Is it true that if she was in the military and she was married to a guy and they got divorced, he would also be entitled to all the things you just said?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and Robin, you say Donovan is a mess. And Brotham, how you doing? He says, hello, Queen Demetra, brother Donovan, and room. And watching you. All right. Says she damaged her case with all that BS. And that's what a lot of people are saying. And Sunlight says, so don't. And Old School says, what do men get out of marriage? Well, really quick, and I want to Donovan get to these comments really quick. What you get out of marriage is you get a helpmeet if you choose the proper helpmeet. If you choose a good woman, you do all the vetting and courting, not just, looking at her booty and her BBL. If you, do your homework on this woman, you get a good woman who was there to help you in every way, shape, or form, be heaven on earth to you. And that's as simple as I can put it. That's what you get. And she treats you right, you treat her right, and y'all, go off into the sunset until one of you dies. That's what you get. And Olivia say he is abusive, and the court records, along with his exes, say so. So he's
no. There is no record of this woman that he was married to, and there's abuse. Now there are abuse records when he was younger and stuff, when he was abusing his girlfriends and they had kids for him and stuff. Those older ones. You're absolutely right about that. But we're talking about this specific case here. There's no record of abuse whatsoever in that, other than he say, she say.
All right. And Jonelle says, a woman who birthed you, birthed your reality, and your future should be maintained. You are forever in her debt, married or divorced. She will always be paid, especially if she is wise with her money. When you do right by your woman and your woman, period, you do right by your future. Men are the maintainers of women. Now, that's a man saying that. That's a man, a very wise, intelligent brother saying that. That's what you get. All right. And Brother Sam, you say, in general, she was fulfilling her role as a wife. She could have complemented his skills to being more on more success. 100 million is a lot, but when you consider the 800 million is not that much, that's another brother, another super intelligent, wise brother telling y'all men what you get. All right. And Sunlight says Mary J. Blige's ex got a bag from his divorce. Yeah. And it sounds like she has to pay him child support. I mean, he was asking for child support for kids that weren't hers, and he was getting spousal support. So I don't know how long he's getting it, if they settled or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, but that guy was a scammer from the get-go, and people were trying to tell her and she wouldn't listen. So,
well, I mean, nevertheless,
and again, what man is dependent on a woman? That she never had a man. That ain't a man. Sorry, that's not a man.
Well, nevertheless, regardless of how they did it, she still has to pay him, alimony and money. So regardless,
and to me, that's not right. And, again, I'm going to be, unlike some of you guys in the chat, and I love you guys to death because we're having a conversation. I'm going to be 10 toes down on what I'm saying. I don't think it's right that she has to pay it. I don't think it's right. She's out there doing the concerts. She's out there recording the music or whatever. But just like Robin said, yeah, they are married. So moving forward in that aspect, he should get whatever in regards to that. But I still don't think it's right. All right. What did he bring to the marriage?
Let me get to these comments. And Robin says if she had took the first offer that he was trying to give her, she actually would have walked away with a pretty penny, but she was being bullheaded. Yes, that's what I understand too. And Olivia says, it's real, Donovan. I am 43 and have been following them for before the internet. Okay. And Sunlight says the purpose of the marriage is not to get divorced. And Reese, how you doing? You say 100 million is more than enough. If she spend it right, it should last her the rest of her life. I don't feel sorry for either one of them. Me either. I mean, hell, you know how many people would never see $100 million in 20 lifetimes? So yeah, you're absolutely right. Olivia says, them meaning the group and the relationships. And then you also say it's not alleged, it has been documented. Okay. Mona says Donovan is right because at the end of the day, he chose to have that particular child. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe by Miss Cholet, she has a right to tell the truth that everybody knows him. Okay. And Old School, you say We live in a world these days where women test men masculinity, and that a lot of you women put these masculinity vibes, but still want to be treated as a feminist woman. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, you're right. There are a lot of, masculine acting women out there. But I say this, if women would learn to walk in their femininity and men, embrace their masculinity, I think there would be a good balance. We wouldn't be crossing over into each other's lanes, but you got to know yourself first before you try to get into a relationship and call it a good relationship. Otherwise, it won't be that. And Robin, you say he was actually trying to look out for her with the first offer, but she started doing dirty, underhanded stuff. Yes. And Olivia says, public records, look it up. Okay. Yo, Hans, how you doing? Long time no see. You says, it's never cheaper to keep her. Watching you says, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Come on. And Old School says, Arnold Schwarzenegger just settled his divorce after being divorced for 10 years. Wow. I wonder how much she got. And Sunlight says she's not black. Yeah, she doesn't look black to me. And Leo Son says because of fear, Donovan. And Moni says, I bet you he wish he was living outside of California in any other state like Michigan. Only he would be sitting up laughing about it, calling it raggy. If it saved him some money, believe that. And Sunlight says, so if they don't get the same, what is he talking? If they didn't get the same, what is he talking about? So he's talking about Donovan. And Olivia says, let him who intentionally lets a man beat them up. Uh-oh. So they said something you said, Donovan. Mr. Pirate Brain, how you doing? Long time no see. He said, peace, Demetra and Donovan. And Mona says, Donovan, now you're speaking out of what God does not command. God tells you to be married, but your beloved California, as you always hype up, is a wonderful state. I recommend it for a woman. Oh, and here's some spam. Hold on, y'all. Let me block that really quick. All right. And Leo Son says, right, poor folks are mad. Dr. Dre is chilling and laughing. Yeah, it's people who will never have those problems, unfortunately, are mad at what he probably wrote a check. Here you go. Enjoy, Gilberto says, Donovan, the reason why is because we take the man back under false pretenses in thinking they would change and never do it again. It's a generational curse. They need to stop. And Moni saying Michigan, since Michigan is a big state with multiple cities, he's married what he came into that marriage with and what he accumulated during that time. That's how much he would have been obligated to pay. And Mr. Piebrain says, didn't Dre marry her before he got rich? Well, no, Dre, he had money, but he got richer, if you will. He became a billionaire under their marriage.
Yeah, he married her after he had left Ruthless Records.
And Sunlight says, masculine vibes are relative to individuals. A woman offered to go Dutch, and that's been called masculine. Doesn't give you the right to hit her. Absolutely correct. And Robin says, oh, Donovan. And Leo Son says, it feels like many men want maximum return for minimal or zero investment. If she walked away with zero, men would not say a mumbling word.
Ooh. See right there. And I know where you're going with that, Leo Son. That's not a man. That's not a man. A man is going to be fair in his dealings with people. That's a man. I'm sorry. I just, at least that's the way I was raised. That is, you have to be fair about it.
And Al, how you doing? You say Gary Owens was on 102 when he was at the Improv and said that he couldn't discuss anything, but she is taken care of. So he's talking about his wife or soon-to-be ex-wife, Kenya. But I see quite a few times that she's like, nah, that's not true. He hasn't paid the mortgage and all of that, but I guess we'll never know, but they'll know the truth. And Gilberto says, love is a hell of a thing, and most people get together under false pretenses and really don't comprehend what marriage is. Money and sex just don't cut it in a marriage. Exactly. That's kind of like, it's important, but not as important as compatibility. So you're absolutely right. And Sunlight says, if he was a deadbeat dad before she was grown, notice there wasn't a lot of talk about it. Good point. News from the Edgemont says, become a member. Demetra K is the truth. Donovan Sadiq keeps her in check as he reads his book of Ike. And then, go to the end of the movie where Tina let him have it. So we're there. And Felicia, you say, and how you doing, by the way? He said, thanks for that remark. I don't even remember what it was now. I'm trying to catch on these comments. And Olivia says, I love what he has done career-wise, but he actually has done the same thing that my father has done, but I don't hold what my father did on him. Okay, and Moni says, Donovan, my cousin Shay was an exotic dancer and got a chance to know Dr. Dre Eazy-E on a personal level, and this man was very abusive. Let's be clear, so he's getting what he deserves. Believe that. And
wait a minute.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. I have to correct you, ladies. None of us was there. None of us. He allegedly. Please start saying allegedly because you don't know that for a fact.
Well, there's been documentation that.
Yeah, but again, in regards to this lady, we don't know that.
Well, Olivia's saying that it is documented. I don't know if it's not or it is or is not. So
Well, again, I'm gonna double. Not that I don't believe Olivia. I'm gonna double check because that's the kind of person I am. Because if that was the case, that would have been brought up in the situation, and it was never proven. Because what all these outlets wouldn't they have brought that out and showed those documents? Wouldn't they have? In regards to her situation, getting half $1 billion.
I mean, you would think.
Yeah.
And Robin says, right, the daughter didn't say a mumbling word about her baby daddies, but she had a whole lot to say about her daddy with all the money. Exactly. I mean, so why should her father be, I get it, this is his baby girl or whatever, but why should he have to pick up the slack when she's laid down and made babies by multiple dudes and she ain't just as mad and dirty in their names in the media, but she dirty in the golden calf, his name up in the media? I mean, make it make sense. And Leo Son says Dr. J would be a fool to abuse a board certified attorney. I'm just saying.
Right. See, and another thing is the reason why I'm just telling you guys stop saying what you don't know is because how many of these Karens out there and these Darrens are out there doing stuff and we like, oh yeah, they're gonna do it. You don't know that for a fact, but we see them making false allegations all the damn time. We don't know. We just don't know.
And Moni says it's not about me siding with anybody. I hate that be the type of thing of people that they quick to laugh at you if you don't have a dime, if you're without, but somebody gets money that already have no laughter. And Olivia says, I don't hate him. I hate his ways. I know what I'm talking about when I say he did her dirty before she was grown. Okay. And Asada, how you doing? You say
Wait, real quick. Okay, so let me just say this. I just want to I'm trying to process what you're saying, Olivia. So this man's been abusing her before she was grown or whatever you're saying, and she still married him.
No, it's talking about his daughter.
Oh, I'm sorry. So
daughter.
My thing. Okay, go ahead.
And Asada, how you doing? It says I keep laughing at how people keep saying she only got $100 million. Shit, I'll take it. And somebody says men who believe that do the universe a favor don't get married. Ooh. I'm gonna just keep reading. And Johan should say, I've been married twice. They want to be independent and married at the same time. But I want to say this to y'all fellas out there. And let me actually get Al's comment before I do. You say, my coworker told his son-in-law in there, if she has any problems with y'all's family, I'm telling her to divorce you. And so I'm gonna get back to that comment. But I'm gonna say this. Because y'all men, and I Donovan, anybody knows me tell you, I love playing devil's advocate, okay? But y'all men are so quick to say, y'all women picking the wrong dude. Y'all with these street urchins, and y'all with Ray and Pookie, and this, that, and the other. Johans, I'm not saying this to you or nothing. I'm just saying in general. But y'all talking about these bad relationships that you guys have been in, and it's kind of tainted you on the institution of marriage. Well, why don't y'all make better decisions? You ain't got to answer that, brother. You think that to yourself?
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Like I said, it goes both ways. I don't care how you cut it. And it took me a long time to realize that I can't be blaming her all the time when I'm the common denominator in all my relationships.
And so, and Al, you say my coworker told his son-in-law and there's, and I think it's son-in-law and their father, I think it was, if she has any problems with y'all's family, I'm telling her to divorce you. So he's basically telling, his son-in-law to, his new son-in-law, if my daughter has any problems at all, you treat her wrong and you're abusive to her, any of that kind of stuff, I will tell her to divorce you, and she will.
Well, yeah, but Dimitri, don't we say that all the time? One of the problems a lot of our ladies and young ladies have is the fact that nobody knows who they're dating. So the uncle, the brother, all these people, you bring the guy around that you're dating, you're going to be protected. And we're going to have a talk with that young man and say, this is how we want her to be treated. This is how we want her to be respected, and so on. But y'all want to be independent.
Well, That's some women. Not all women want to be independent while in a marriage. And we'll get more into that. I just want to get down to these comments. And Easy says, I disagree with not getting married. So you're saying you disagree with men saying we shouldn't get married. Is that what you're saying? And Mona says, at the end of the day, nobody is going to take time and sit up and laugh at him on his misfortune because he's outliving everybody anyway. So at the end of the day, I feel sorry for women abusing not funny. Sunlight says, let me just get to some of these comments.
Wait.
You and Moni gonna argue back.
No. I just want to say this for everybody. How come we never bring up the fact that when he had a heart attack, whatever, she tried to get him to sign a document?
Oh, God. Sunlight says it's laughable to watch someone twist themselves into knots. And Connie, how you doing? He said Jeff Bezos' ex-wife got a whole lot more. I think Dr. Dre got off light. Exactly. But she got, Mackenzie got $400 million, I think it was.
She is the wealthiest woman in the world.
No, 400 billion.
Yeah, she's the wealthiest.
It was some billions, like 100.
She is the wealthiest woman in the world.
It was a lot of billions is what it was. So, and she gives a lot of it away too. So,
and number 2 is Bill Gates' wife.
Yes. And Leo Sonia said marriage is about legacy and wealth transfer. Wealthy people know this. 2 poor people get together and become what? Less poor. Absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's about building a legacy with somebody. 2 can go farther than 1. I think that's an African proverb somewhere. But y'all Negroes sitting up talking, I ain't never gonna get married and all this other stuff. But then when y'all get old and decrepit, you be like, it sure would have been nice to have somebody to rock on the porch with.
I could just get me a city girl.
Yeah, okay, she's gonna kill you on the first pump. And Old School says a lot of you should hear some of the stories that these men in the military deal with. Their wife do them and then leave do them, I guess, wrong when they leave for duty. I think that's what you're saying. And CWJ says, and how you doing, by the way? Says, oh no, men get nothing. And Jafia, how you doing? He says, happy holidays, everyone. And Old School says, marriage is dead in these modern times. I disagree with that, but I'm gonna get to the rest of these comments so I can me and Donovan can have a little back and forth because I feel it. And Moni says, at the end of the day, I find it interesting that people will defend a man that beats a dog crap out of a woman and she's not even black. To be clear, pictures have been circulated of her face and body. Nobody's defending that here. And Thunder says, if an American black woman don't want to cooperate, we have options. Black women, you can't say black men are abusers and then in the same breath voice your anger about black men marrying outside the race. It seems like you don't want us to be happy. Well, we want you to be happy, but we would like you to be happy with us. And I don't think anybody should be putting their hands on anybody. I don't care what race the person is, whether it's a man or a woman. Keep your hands to yourself. If you feel like you're in a situation where you want to choke somebody, leave. Really. And Nikki, how you doing? You say black first. Yes, indeed. And Sunlight says, no, Demetri, they're not accountable for choosing poor. Remember, you're giving off feminist vibes with that statement. Laugh out loud, right? I'm just saying, y'all talk about how poorly black women we were Ray and Pookie and street urchins, but y'all talking about I ain't never get married again because my ex-wife is over here and there with this, that, and the other. Well, you chose her, brother. You chose her. She didn't force you to do that. I don't think.
Yeah, she did. You don't marry me, I'm gonna put you on child support.
Brother Jonelle, it says majority of men will take care of a side chick, aka stripper, better than they would their own wife and have no problem throwing their economics loosely on exchange than a foundation of family. Either way, you pay a wife is a wise investment if you are wise. Yes, indeed, black man. And Robin says his ex-wife tried, quote unquote, to accuse him of abuse, but it was never proven. Okay. And Olivia says, ancestors, please do the job on his connection, please. Woo! She asking the ancestors to come see about you. And one who cares, she says, good evening, Demetri, Donovan, and chat. Yes, indeed. How you doing? And Mona says, I know that he beat Micheline lots of times than other women. I can't say that much, but I'm not one to sit back and laugh at somebody's misfortune ever. That would be thoughtless and inconsiderate. Yes, indeed. And Pamela, how you doing? He says, well, I will never get married. Just have a relationship is good for me. Okay, so that's a woman saying she would never get married. And CWJ says, men get nothing in marriage in the end. It depends on who
get some good kids. We get some good kids.
Yeah, you do get something. And if you stay married and you stay married to a good woman, shit, the benefits are endless. I'm just saying. And TJ, how you doing? You says greetings, family, black first. Yes, indeed. And Al, he says, Kevin Samuel says, your wife is not your partner. She is your help meet. Yes, indeed. She is. I mean, not your slave, because I know some women are probably hearing that she's your help me. She is supposed to, I think if most people would get this, and I know my Muslim brothers can understand this, it's supposed to be your heaven on earth. And you are the God of the household. And so the woman is supposed to create that heaven on earth for you in every way, shape, and form. She is supposed to help you do that. She is, and I'm speaking from a woman's point of view. She is supposed to create a peaceful environment, but she can only create a peaceful environment if she is in that environment to be at peace herself. So it goes both ways, if that makes any sense. And old lady says, the way you drag our women for no reason, sometimes I believe you would try to use one. So, wait, she talking to you? And do tell Olivia, and the Sunlight says, so he's complaining about the laws being biased, but when they are unbiased, it's still a problem. What am I missing?
What I'm saying is, if a law is bad, child support laws, marriage laws, or whatever, it should be fair across the board to both sides. It shouldn't be, well, now a woman's getting it, so, like Mary J. Blige's example. To me, that's not right. That's not right. Unlike a lot of the people, I'm for the law written to be fair to whoever side it is, especially in a marriage. It has to be fair.
Got you. Al says the military does not mess around when it comes to the spouse getting allotment checks. Yeah, it sounds like they're like, yeah, you coming up off that, buddy or ma'am. And one who cares says, I agree, Donovan, but Sherry Shepherd has to pay also. Yeah, she had to pay. And then they ended up having a surrogate child, and she decided she didn't want it. And the course was like, well, you kind of decided that you wanted it while y'all were married, so you have to pay child support. She's paying child support for a child I don't think she's ever met, to be honest with you. And CWJ says 24% to 26% of Black women get married. I think it's Black women get married. Yeah, we need to change that number. We need to bump that up, right? We just do, because how we expect the Black family, Black people to survive if Black men and women aren't getting together and doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, 60 years ago, then that number was reversed. There was almost 70% marriage rate in the Black community.
Yeah, and Intermix Radio says the judge said Mary has to pay now. Get mad at the judge. Yeah, I don't have a problem with her having to pay. If she was making more money than him, it's really horrible that he did her the way he did her. But those are the things you gotta, I don't know. It shouldn't be any different for women than it is men, I'm thinking. And Easy says, I see someone said marriage is dead. Wow, this is why other cultures come here and surpass us in everything. Exactly, because other cultures don't think marriage is dead. Other cultures don't have a problem getting together because they know that they are building and leaving a legacy, not just financially, but they are, procreating with the purpose of continuing on and growing their numbers. But us, we can't even get along for 5 minutes to even have that conversation, and it's sad.
Black men ain't shit. Black men ain't shit. Black men ain't. Just blame the Black man. No matter what your problem is, blame the Black man.
No, I don't know where you're getting that from, brother. But anyway, Leo's son says,
we're the only group. Our women are the only group of women on the planet that say that.
But there's a whole host of YouTube channels, and I know there's Black women that's doing it too. I don't watch any of it really. Some of them I peep in every once in a while, but there's a whole lot of Negroes on the internet, and there was one I just watched not too long ago. They get in a bag. Every 5 seconds you look up, somebody donating money to the channel of them talking bad about Black women. So what y'all gonna have to stop doing is blaming all Black women for that. It takes two to tango, and it takes both of us to get along. We got Black women who don't like Black men. They call them the divest from Black men crowd. You got Black men who don't want nothing to do with Black women for their reasons, and yet we are stumbling in population numbers in this country. We have high abortion rates. We got no money, even though we bring in a lot of money. So we got a lot of issues, but we are furthering what was done to us from slavery, all this division. That we're not supposed to like each other. You're supposed to find fault with your Black man and your Black woman, and we are doing the worst not even just in America, but on the planet. Black people are doing the worst of everybody, but yet we want to talk about how we don't like each other. Immature. And Leo Sun says Mary J. Blige, Adele, Halle Berry, Janet, Madonna, Liz Taylor, etc. They all paid alimony to prior spouses. Whoever earns more will pay. That's the simple math. And men tend to make more money than women. They tend to,
well,
right?
they used to, yeah. The trends are changing.
But now they do still, right? All right. And so Bro Tammy says, I didn't even know Dre was married until and forgive me, I know my feed is probably struggling a little bit, but it'll come back.
Fine. It's fine.
Okay. And he says, I didn't even know Dre was married until they said he was getting a divorce. And a news from the edge while he's talking to Olivia. And in the mixed radio, how you doing? He says, I don't feel sorry for none of them fools. And he also say, this ain't about being gay. Okay. And let's see. And Mr. Pybrain says, Demetri, I was in the hospital with congestive heart failure all last week. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope that you are feeling much better now. I hate to hear that for you. Please get well. Johansson says, I've been watching y'all on Rewind. Oh, okay, got it. And Marty says, Demetri, speak your mind. You're going to be hear a lot of people that's going to bring up these men married women that's not Black. And then when they get their behind ran over, rightfully so by them. Oh, well. And am I that far behind? And the Marty says, see, he beat all the... Okay, I'm going to skip some of these comments. And again, if you guys are no watch parties or different rooms on your Facebook, click on the link. I love to read your comment. Jafai says, I agree. Donovan Mary's husband is definitely not a man. He wanted her to take care of him, his parents, and his daughter. What the F? And Jonelle says, divorce is a result of bad chemistry. Mentally dissatisfaction is the root of divorce. If you're no longer doing the things that inspired the flame, the feelings won't remain. You got to make sure your love is strong enough to endure all change, for the only true love will remain beyond all adversity and pain. I totally agree with you. Again, forgive me for my feed. And Don, how you doing? He says, hey, Demetri and Donovan. Mona says, clear Demetri, whatever he does not do for his daughter. You do have a point, but he is a womanizer and he's an abuser. And okay, so you're still saying that Dr. Dre is not a good person. And Monet, how you doing? Olivia says, please do. They actually did. And Monet says, actually, I'll skip through just a few of your comments, Monet, so I can get to everybody else's. And Donovan, how am I doing? Olivia say, I don't speak on things I don't know for sure. Okay. And then Thunder says, I don't understand why Black women who hate Black men are upset when the men they hate or fear go elsewhere. Most of the time, these women are choosing Black men and are willing to give him a peaceful life. But again, that's not all Black women who do not like Black men. I don't know any Black women personally that don't like Black men. So just like, again, y'all tell us, y'all need to make better decisions. And Thunder, by the way, too, thank you for the donation. I just haven't gotten that far down, but I will get there. I mean, we all just need to make better decisions, I would think. And Jafia says, I don't for one moment think that Dr. Dre ever touched Becky, as that would have set the grounds for an amount of money she received. Okay. And Moni says, is that the fact that you will put all the ladies play the victim role? Because that's not necessarily true. I know this man personally through my cousin, and I know he's an abuser and a womanizer. Let's be clear. Johan says, both of my wives were successful as I am. Okay. And Aisha says, it would be a pleasure to serve as a wife. Believe in marriage. Yeah, I believe in marriage too. And Old School says, nobody truly values those wedding vows, just like nobody truly values the 10 Commandments. Well, there's a lot of people who value the wedding vows. There's a lot of people who've been married forever. So that's not necessarily true. It's not absolute. Leo Saint said, I agree with Donovan's point. A woman needs trusted men in her life to put eyes on whom they date. Yes, indeed. He says, Donovan, you need to take a trip to Detroit. Moni calling. And Janelle says, rock on the porch comment. Yeah, I mean, you know, you want somebody to grow old with and say, hey, baby, how you doing? Let's go watch reruns of Sanford and Son or whatever it is you're going to do, you know. Do some buttermilk and cornbread. That's what old people do. And Brother Samuel says, great point, Donovan. And that's one difference between courting and dating. One is protected by a community, and the other one is you're on your own. And Gilberto says, to be totally honest, why do we care as a regular folks? All we know is 100 million is quite a lot of money, I think, to us. However, the wealthy always want more. Good point. Sunlight says you can call any abusive person abusive. Okay. And Robin says, I don't know why people can't just focus, get their feelings out of it. Nobody is defending him for putting his hands on anybody. We're talking about his divorce settlement. And Gilberta says, what has Dr. Dre or his ex-wife done for the Black First community? Well, good point. He gave $70 million to USC to get his daughter in. So you're right. And Olivia says, there he goes trying to make our Black women seem ghetto again. Talking about you. And Moni says, Donovan, I agree. When you are married to somebody in the military, my grandmother married my grandfather, and they married in the early 1940s. My grandfather passed in the 1950s. I agree, married. And Jonelle says, nobody wants to settle down to abuse except for fooling what they think is love. To quote Tina Turner, what's love got to do with it? Robert says, if people stop being so darn emotional, we can actually get somewhere. That's why we're in the predicament that we're in now. We're some emotional people. Yes, especially us as Black people. We get so emotional that we can't even think logically. And Brother Curtis, how you doing? Says marriage is God, man, and woman. A man with his eye on the eternal won't mistreat his other half. Believe it or not, evil will be justly repaid. Good point. And Leo Son says, partner, help me. I see no difference. Yeah, it's the same thing. And Thundy say the Black man is showing his appreciation for the Black woman, Black First sis. Thank you so much. And again, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it. And Sunlight says Denzel, Ice Cube, Omar Epps, Boris Kojo, just to name a few that are fulfilled with what they got from their Black wives. Yes, Ice Cube's been with Kim forever, and Denzel too. I'm sure.
Yeah. Wait. Didn't you and Kim get in that fight at the roller skating rink?
Yeah, I was like, that's my man. That Ice Cube's supposed to be my man, and as y'all can see, I didn't win.
I remember back then he was known as O'Shea. We called him O'Shea.
Yes, Mr. Jackson. And Olivia says, a friendly reminder to not give attention to someone who even thinks that's crazy shit. Spend more time trying to educate the Black man to become better men, and things will become better. I agree with that. And you're finna get blocked because this is a dumb thing. I don't know.
Russian bots.
Something. And TJ says, say that, Sister Demetra. All right. And Robert says, you're right. And Moni says, Dinah Ross straight up out of Motown, straight up out of the Brewster Projects, laughed at the one Donovan and Demetra had to pay child support to Tracy Ross' dad back in the 70s in Connecticut, not Michigan. There's another woman who had to pay. Sunlight says, well, if the laws are so biased against men in general, why don't other races have the same gripes?
They do. What do you think? Jeff Bezos had a whole case of lawyers trying to fight the thing, but he said, just give her half. It's just cheaper to just give her half and walk away. You're still going to be rich. And then he made more money.
I don't think Jeff was trying to fight that. He says, give her what she wants.
Yeah. You give her what she wants. I mean, he still made his money back within 5 months of the pandemic.
Yeah. I mean, they were married for a long time. Same thing with Melinda Gates. It doesn't sound like that was very contested either. So, I mean, they was like, listen, we did you dirty. Here goes some money. Hoping that makes you feel better, I guess. And Thunder says, my father told me to be selective when I get ready to wed. The right women will inspire a pauper to become a king, but the wrong one will turn a king into a pauper. You better say that. Brother. But again, get with you a woman who is about it, who's like, okay, boo, let's make it happen, right? But you're right. My father used to always say, a man can bring in a spoonful of money, and a woman who is not good with money can shovel it out the back door. So be careful. And Jafar says, nah, Donovan, most women believe that Black men ain't shit. And Thunder says the Black men are the captain of the ship, and there's someone on your boat putting holes in it as the captain of the ship. You must do what's best for the ship, and that's not let someone put holes in the boat. I totally agree. And more importantly, vet the people you're putting on the boat before they get their asses on there, right? Robin says, right, Black women gets hell of a drag by Black men. It's really disgusting, but we're still here, Black men. Yes, we are still here. And TJ says, that's not true, Donovan. I've never said that. I love my brothers Black first.
Okay, remember, we never talk in general of everybody. You guys have heard those terms that have been thrown out there in regards to Black men and terms in regards to Black women. It goes on both sides. Like I said, I hate when everybody deflects. You guys know what we're talking about.
Hey Gina, how you doing? Long time no see. I see you found us. She says, hey now, how are you guys? We are doing well, and I hope you are doing the same. And Moni says, you have to take your time and pray about it. Ultimately, Demetria, let's call it what it is. So many people are insecure and they love to defend liars. You know, a liar should stand on their own 2 feet. I'd agree with that. And Olivia said he probably didn't know that he had a baby during the marriage. And Robin says, I will never say that a black man ain't shit. There's some days that I want to say it, but I'm yet holding on. And Al says, all these women disagreeing with Brother Donovan don't and can't find a man like him who will make sure you are good in every way. Well, I actually have Donovan on an auction block. So again, if you guys
not today, I think I'm in the negative.
Right. 50 cents. Can we get the auction back up to 50 cents? He is back on the auction, ladies. The new year is coming, and we need to make a decision here, okay?
Well, you guys better hurry up. I'm going on a date as soon as I get off this show.
A vegan date on top of that, so maybe she's the one.
We'll see.
Keep
but wait a minute. Sister, Dark 32, seems to got her head on straight. Hey, I'm good.
And you're welcome, Mr. Pirate Brain. And Leonard, how you doing? He says, there ain't nothing that woman did in her life worth no $100 million. What about bore his children and was married to him for 25 years? What about that? Does that count for something? How much is that worth?
And you know what, though? The women that are in the industry that are married to men that are in the industry, I really feel bad for them for the simple fact that God knows what kind of shit they have to put up with. The groupies, the side chicks. I mean, we all know that stuff goes on because look at Future. But guess what? Cardi is still married to him. How did that figure? And their children, their child can't listen to her music and all this other stuff. It's amazing. So, you know, again, we're not saying that she doesn't deserve the money in the aspect of deserving the money. We're saying that, wow, you know, bringing to the table what else. I mean, she's an attorney. All I'm saying is, if you're going to do that, if I was writing the law, I would say, okay, you're married, you work at Food for Less, and you bring home $100 a month. Dr. Dre should get $50, and you should get $400 million. Half of half, and you go your separate ways. I think that is fair.
All right now, and Jonelle says we are not in a justice system when it comes to divorce. Among other things, we are in an injustice system, and the majority of high-profile divorces in the media is used as a weapon over the minds of the masses via hidden hands. Division has always been the practice of these systems over the Black family, especially. Walter, what's going on? Chiming in from Germany. I think you're in Germany. And you say, this is my subject. I'm chiming in. Okay.
Walter, stay away from Frankfurt, please.
And Thunder says Black men need to take control and stop asking for permission. If she's not on board with their program, get rid of her and replace her with a Black woman that will and keep the negative ones away from your home and life. I think that's great advice, Thunder. I don't think anybody should surround themselves with somebody who is negative and who's not on board with the program. So I don't have any disagreements at all. Robin says, I don't really do Facebook. I say talking to Sunlight. And Robin said, what is your name on this? So you're talking to Sunlight. And Al said, Megan Go. And he says, and Devin Franklin and Megan marriage ended because he focused more on God and less on her. Woo. Now that's a hell of a statement right there.
Yeah, well, Al, I heard is because the camel that broke Devin's back was the fact of that booty eating scene in the movie.
I don't know what y'all talk about on that.
You know, on the what's that Harlem? There's a scene where this guy lifts his legs and she's going to eat his groceries or something like that. It's inflicted, and he just said, "I can't do it." That was it. They said that was what.
I will say this: I turned on Harlem, and the first 5 minutes, I was like, "I'm good. I'm good." It was very raunchy, vulgar, and I'm not a prude. I've watched some things, but this was just like, bam. You know, and I'm like, if this is how y'all starting off, I'm good. You know, I'm good. And so, but I think that's a hell of a statement that he focused more on God than her. What y'all think about that? I mean, because I know the Bible says, there's a difference. I think, I don't know. Bible says that you should focus on your home first before the church. But y'all tell me what you think about that. And Gavetta says, thanks, Demetra and Donovan. Having these conversations really let you see how and what people think. Absolutely. And, it helps us to have a good conversation so we can learn some things too. And Sunlight says, so Jeff Bezos is not griping. What are you talking about, Donovan? Are you just disagreeing on general principle?
Well, here's what I'm saying. I'll make it real quick because I know we got to get to the comments. Here's what I'm saying when it comes to Jeff Bezos. There is no person, man or woman, that is going to let millions and billions of dollars just go without a fight. Okay. He's going to try to get away with what he can get away with. Like I said, in Dr. Dre's situation, she could have got 400 million or whatever it was. I think he offered her more than what she actually got. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like people's greed and everything like that. I don't know anybody that is not going to take less damage, if possible, than they can. That's why he was adamant about keeping his masters and doing the things that are going to be tangible to him down the road, whereas she just gets a settlement and that's it. And as we know in the Bible says, not that I'm a Bible person, a fool and their money are quickly parted. Not saying she's a fool, but some people out here buying $10,000 this and doing that and doing that. That's what, what I'm thinking about. I don't know anybody that has money that just lets it go. And if they do let it go, it's because the government's going to take it from them anyway. So they got to write it off.
Got you. And let's see here. And the Leo Son says Bezos married his ex-wife when he was coding in the garage, and before he started Amazon, he knew that she earned half. Yeah, I mean, she was there from the gate, so I don't see what the argument is.
Yeah, and he knew he screwed up. He did it wrong.
Yeah, he was cheating on her. And Thunder says, men, run your home as if it was a Fortune 500 company and do what's best to keep your company not only afloat but profitable, and use force to protect it from a loud mouth and malcontents. Yeah, do almost anything you need to do. No force, like, Tori, how you doing? He says, marriage is a good thing if you have allowed God to be in it. I say that a man should take time to get to know his woman. Obvious, Dr. Dre got exactly what he deserved, don't you think? Yeah, I mean, I don't know all that went on in their marriage, but I mean, they were together 25 years, so I'm sure, I don't know. I don't think $100 million is a lot of money to a person who is a billionaire, right? But you're absolutely right. People should take the time to get to know each other. And Leo Son says, I will start the bidding at $4.99 for Donovan. I am joking. Well, that's actually more than we had before. Olivia says, I want my food stamps back. See, we have some food stamps on the table. And Sunlight says, Demetra, I refuse to continue to be in the punching bag for what the ratchet women they choose to do. How about embracing the good ones instead of being hostile toward them just because they are there? I agree with you. It's not all women. I mean, there's some men who like the ratchets and then they complain when the ratchets do what ratchets do. Just like there's some women who like Ray and Pookie. I mean, come on. Jafai says, good luck on your date, Donovan. And Tori says, I'm surprised she didn't get more money considering she's not black. So I'm not going to defend him one way or another. Nobody else should get what he gets. And Ridiculous Thoughts, how you doing? He says, hey, Demetra and Donovan, Dre got off easy. If you ask me, I bet he will marry a Becky next. And that is where the fortune will ultimately end up.
I don't think at his age he's going to get married again. I don't believe he would. He will.
Who knows? And Robin says, Donovan, go on that date and don't say a word. Just let her talk. We're trying to get you married off. Donovan, didn't I give you some of that same advice earlier? I said, just listen. Don't go be judgmental.
Yes, she did. Listen. Yes,
let her tell you her story. Don't judge the book by its cover. And I actually put a post up from that conversation we had because he was about to be on one. And Walter, you say too late. And Thunder says,
Walter's talking about Frankfurt. He knows what I'm talking about.
And Thunder says, black men be men. What is she going to say? How dare you grow a spine and stand up like a man for me and my kids? And what do you mean you're not putting up with my blatant disrespect and contempt of you? Wow, you really, man, you going in the comments.
Yeah, well, but think about that. I mean, ladies, how many of you guys remember Simone Sanders? Men, sit down and shut up when, we don't need your comments and stuff like that. This is what black men get subjected to by women, black women, not all black women, but this particular kind of black woman all the time.
Don't be with that type of black woman. I mean,
no. But what I'm saying is, here's a woman on a big platform, and this is the energy she's putting out toward black men.
But see, black people need to be smart enough to know she ain't speaking for all of us. She's speaking for herself. And I tend to say this, Alpha females tend to get with beta males that have no spine and ain't gonna say, listen, I'm gonna need you to button your lip up a little bit and sit down lovingly and respectfully, please. You know what I mean? He's probably like, okay, yes, dear. And Erica, how you doing? He says, how about let's not generalize my race and state that maybe, just maybe, some of the men, period, ain't shit. And let's not talk about them, but let's start real conversations at the underlying issues as to why some of us are, and that we will, like all things, change. I say all that to say that we have to dig deep on why we feel how we feel about some of us and the issues that concern us. Hashtag let's love us. I love it. Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. And Sunlight says, well, did you hear it from the horse's mouth? And Moni says, I see Megan marriage ended in her husband focused on God. That's the best thing. Only a demonic demon will want someone to focus on a human being. Let's keep our minds on God first always. Ken Oliva says she's an actress at the end of the day, and he knows what he signed up for.
But let me ask you this, Olivia, just real quick. We seem to be pretty caught up. But she's married to a pastor or a guy that is in the spiritual realm, whatever you want to call it. But even as an actress, shouldn't she be selective of the role she takes? Because it ain't like, she's an acclaimed actress. So it isn't like she doesn't have some kind of power to select certain roles. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if he's a pastor, that's like her taking a role of a harlot in a movie. Is that the image she wants to portray in regards to her husband?
I would just say this. We don't really know what the cause was, but I take your word for it. But the one thing that comes to mind for me is Denzel said that he never kissed a white woman in the mouth out of respect for his black wife. Okay, we talking about Denzel. He says, I would never have and I never will kiss a white woman in her mouth on screen because I have a black wife. He said that.
Yeah, and if you look at his catalog, he's never portrayed a black man in like a very demeaning role.
Training Day, but anyway.
Well, yeah, but, depending on how you look at it, a corrupt cop, that was basically life.
And Easy say, Donovan, you killing. Yes, she was eating his groceries. See, I couldn't even get that far in the damn show. Sunlight says again, Jeff Bezos didn't put up a fight, right? No, he did not. And Jonelle says, yeah, bro, Donovan, that scene with the Megan Good, among many others, is a grounds of divorce. That whole show is a service of degradation upon black women, pure mental swine being pimped to the masses. That's how they use their media. Absolutely. And I would say this. I mean, I think when you are married, I don't care if you're an actress or whatever it is, you should always have a conversation with your significant other. Say, hey, baby, I read the script and I'm going to be eating some ass up in there. So I want to know what you think. Should I be doing this even though it's acting? And if he says, well, no, I don't really want you to do it, then you go to them and say, above all, I got to respect my husband, because when y'all say cut, I got to go home to him. So I'm not going to be eating nobody's butt. And also, this is not only, to Jonelle's point, a degradation of black women, but it's a degradation of black men. It's an emasculation of black men to have. And I heard about the scene, but it's like somebody somewhere should have said, we need to find something else to do,
And real quick, even Brother Phil kind of mentioned this. Juanita Bynum has been saying stuff about women in her church. And if you guys go to the African Diaspora News Channel, Brother Phil actually talks about that and shows a clip where Juanita Bynum is actually, some of the biggest sex whores are in the church. I mean, and it's been documented. I mean,
Olivia says it's about having things documented. Donovan, he had too many shit settled out of court. Okay. Leo Son says, sorry to see Devin and Megan divorced, but we all know that the pastor's wife needs to be of a certain temperature. The entertainment industry is the complete opposite of that, and also him being a man of the cloth. Don't you think he should have known that too? You know what I mean? He of all people should have known that you're looking for a wife. Might she be problematic? Not saying that she was problematic herself, but the things that she is going to be doing that might be problematic.
But if you look at how many of these pastors that are married to ex-strip. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Porn stars and actresses and stuff like that. But got to remember, and I'm not talking about in Devon's case, but a lot of these local pastors are what? Ex-drug dealers, ex-pimps themselves. So they just took something that was illegal, pimping with their mouths, and put it to the masses on the legal side. So they have no problem getting with women of of certain qualities.
Right. And how you doing? He says he cheated, but she loved the earthly rags. And he says, Shalom. Shalom, Sister K, same to you. You told me what that meant, but I forgot again. Anita, how you doing? He says, hey, Demetra and Donovan in chat. And Leonard, you said it's too easy to make black men the villain in every situation. Nah, I mean, anybody who's watched this show long enough will know that I never demonize black men and I don't demonize black women. I like to ask questions so that we can understand some things, but I know Donovan, I will punch you out. I'm just playing. We know that black men and women need to get along if we're going to make it. We need to stop all this nonsense because also our children are watching us. And who they going to settle down with if they don't see us do it, you know? And Moni says, I would love to hear the pioneer and what he would have said in this matter. Demetra, I think it would be interesting. Well, go find him. Where is he? And Yahweh says, ratchets are scraggle daggles. But there's a lot of men, including this one, who love him. And Leo says that I don't think that Dr. Dre will get married again either. And Olivia says, I'm almost positive that he will try marriage again. Something tells me that he would get married again too.
Yeah,
with a sister.
Yeah, I would put a bet on it. I don't think at his age, I don't think he's going to do it.
Please, he's probably going to get him a young tenderoni.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. He's got the means. Why would he? He doesn't need to. Why would he?
Why doesn't he need to get married?
Because he has the money. He has everything he needs. He could buy love. He could rent love.
Is it real love if you got to buy it?
For a man, we don't think like that. We don't care. I don't think he's looking for that. I don't think he's looking for that. I'm not speaking for men. I'm just saying in general. Men
don't he got a girlfriend already?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Thunder, you say, no, you must use force. That's part of being a man. That's watered down version of why we are in a situation. If someone or something is trying to destroy what you created, you defend it like a damn man. No, I thought you were talking about against a woman. That's why I said that. So I got what you're saying. And Money says, Donovan, I'll bet, I think he meant for my sexy brown sugar, 100 million, but you got to come to Michigan and we can be in Royal Oak or more upscale, non-raggedy park. You bring the pink Don Perignon and I'll rub your back, daddy.
Well, we have nice, beautiful mountains up here. Maybe you need to get on a plane and come on down. We can go up to the cabin, a little dancing. And
all right. Facts Not Feelings, where you been? You said peace and love, fam. Same to you. And Yahweh says, who loves Wadi? Who loves Karen? I don't know. You tell me. Money says, I suggest that if he marries again, because if he may decide, just take his time and get to know God. Let God pick. Anytime we pick something, it's a mess up every time. But when God sends it, it's better always. I would agree with that. And Leonard says, Black society is full of a full-fledged matriarchy. These are war tactics. I agree with you. We need to switch it around to have it. But see, a lot of times when people talk about, the patriarchy, they talk about it in terms that are bad. But if you talk about it in terms where men are take the lead again, then it's good. So I agree with you. And Olivia said, who cares? He already knew that. You don't change. You don't change for that. And Moni says, Demetra, for you to be married, I'm not ready for you to be married just yet. Donovan, you are my sexy brown sugar, something that keeps me happy to see every week. If only I could have you off in Michigan, how great it would be.
Hey, if I was in Michigan, you could have me. You can have me. I'm gonna have to come to Michigan. You can have me.
Olivia say, but Denzel was already married beforehand. Megan got married after starting her career, although I don't want to see the show. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You would think that he, as being a man of the cloth, would have known that and said, well, that might be problematic. Maybe I'll pass. You know what I mean? Go get me a sister so-and-so.
Yeah, and then Megan has a history of being an industry thought or whatever you want to call it, supposedly. I said supposedly.
I ain't never heard. I'm not in the entertainment like that, but I've never heard of Megan.
Well, she dated 50 Cent. I mean, there's alleged, and that's come out that she dated 50 Cent for like a year.
Does that make her a thought?
No, that ain't what I'm saying. But like her and certain
Olivia, do your thing, Olivia.
I said allegedly she was known as in the industry.
Do your thing, Olivia.
Let's face it, Harvey Weinstein, you got to get those parts somehow. And Carmen Jones and them, they had to do strange things to get the part.
Ladies, I'm gonna get on to these comments, but don't let me down, ladies. Do not disappoint. And Thunder says, and if the black man is not allowed to use force to protect the family, how in the hell is he going to look if we send a black woman to do what black men should? And if she is, what the hell are black men supposed to do? So no, I understand that completely. Again, I thought you were talking about using force against a woman. So I misunderstand you. So forgive me. Fly on the wall, how you doing? He says, you remember that guy from HBO called the tossing salad man? That's what was Megan Goods looked like, tossing somebody's salad. If my wife did that, I would want a divorce too. Yeah, I don't know. That's just disgusting. Yahweh says Hebrew Israelite Malax will be on top soon in ruling. I'll take your word for it. Gilbert says, with Megan and Devin, I really feel he wanted children and Megan was not ready to take that attention off of her. Yeah, well, I guess we'll really never know until they both say, hey, this is what happened, right? Mona said, I really hate to see Megan get a divorce because they did it the right way. And I just think maybe some counseling might be needed in a little bit of time apart because they really are a beautiful couple. Okay.
Yeah, they were married like 9 years or something. So.
Yeah, they was married for a while. And Al says, Devon Franklin and Megan Good divorcing couples that pray together still break up. Apparently, right? Olivia says she's better off without him. She'll get a better black man. Juanita Bynum had a mental break. So very few people have respect for her as much. Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up, Olivia, because Juanita Bynum was, fighting with her dude off in the parking lot and they was on divorce court. And, Juanita Bynum, she has a lot of good things to say, but she got a checkered past too. So I don't know. I don't know. But I get what she was saying. Like, come to church like you coming before God, not the club, right? And Anita says, Lord, I've missed so much. Donovan got a date. People eating groceries. Clutch my pearls. Olivia says, I forgot what it meant to Demetra, but I know it's Hebrew. Yes. Lionel Wall says, laugh out loud, Donovan. That is true. The freakiest women are in the church. That's why I married a pastor. Okay. Leo says true. Leo says true. Devin says,
should have known.
Should have known. Got it. That there's a video of a woman criticizing Megan for the attire at a conference he spoke of for his wife. Then something clearly changed. Yeah, I mean, and I love that he did that he did speak up on behalf of his wife. Like, no, you're not going to sit up here and check my wife and embarrass her. I'm here. I'm her husband. I'm the head of her, the head of our household, and that is not your job. And he was right. That lady was out of order for speaking to his wife that way. She can't tell her what to do. Right,
and then that's his wife, and if he's okay with it, then she can go right on ahead and do it.
Yeah, she was out of order. You can't tell that woman. That's a grown woman, And Thunder says, we need to know our roles. We are bigger and stronger for a damn reason. Black men, embrace your manhood and do not hold it cheap. Conduct yourself as men. And if you encounter a confused black woman, get you one who has her mind right. I co-sign that, brother. You ain't never going to get no argument out of that. And Robin says, I can see Dr. Dre marrying April. Who is that? And Yahweh says, Sister K, we are under the curses. Us Israelite men and women hate each other. And it's so sad, right? It's very sad. And Al says it was certain things that the things Clifton Davis said he refused to do with them on Amen. And that is true. And he is a real ordained pastor from the show Amen. There were certain things he wasn't going to do. I think one of them was they weren't going to be in the bed and things like that. And so he said, above all else, I'm a man of God. And so this is TV and it's paying me some, money, but I'm not going to do certain things. And so he stuck to his principles.
How many of you guys know Clifton Davis was a Air Force Reserve pilot out here at March Air Force Base?
And he wrote the Jackson 5 songs, Never Can Say Goodbye.
Yes, he did. And he dated Melba Moore for a very, very long time.
All right now. And Sunlight says, asking questions on biasly is interpreted as feminist behavior, Demetra.
Yeah. Women ask a lot of questions, or at least they should.
What she's saying, because I said I just like to ask questions, she said that someone's going to deem that as me being a feminist or maybe too masculine, but y'all should have saw the dress I had on. That wasn't masculine at all. Today, anyway. Olivia says he never needed to get married in the first place, but he did. Some men, quote unquote, feel that they can't make it without having a wife. even things are not right. Stupid as hell, but very true.
Oh yeah. No, I have a brother and a cousin that they have to be with a woman or they're not, they can't function. I'm sorry.
Well, I think that's probably true for a lot of people. If you get with I think most people in their right minds know that two people complete. Well, you complement each other. I won't say complete because you should come to the table complete. But again, two can go farther than one. I mean, I can't really think of too many people who want to grow old, by themselves. I don't know. And Sunlight says you can't buy or rent someone who is truly down for you. That's just a fact. Let it go, Donovan.
He isn't trying to buy someone to be down with him. What I'm saying is, men, we don't care about that. If we want, that's why prostitution is so popular. It is just something that has been around for hundreds of years. It's been around for hundreds of years, and men take part in it and women take part in it. That's what we're saying. Men wait, and that's why men don't cheat. We could physically get with a woman and there's no feelings attached. We can just do our thing and there's no feelings attached. Men do not cheat.
Javai says, get a room, Donovan and Moni. He says, Donovan, you need to take your ass to Michigan, bro, ASAP. And Yahweh says, in the kingdom, all of the Israelites will love each other. And again, I apologize for my feed. It's tripping. And Moni says, the comment on why I need to buy him, that was from 5 years ago that the brother Philip has on his show that he did last week. So that's a real old. Let's be clear, Donovan, ladies, be respectful of your body. Okay.
Yeah. No, I know it's 5 years ago, but the message is still relevant today.
Yes, indeed. And Robin says, fix it, Jesus. And Sunlight says, no, Megan didn't, shaking my head. And Jafia says, Megan was indeed looked at as a thought in the industry. That's why everyone was in shock when a minister married her. Well, if y'all read the Bible, how many of y'all read the Bible? What was Mary Magdalene?
Oh.
Did Jesus say she was all right?
Sure did. And she ran with the boys.
Didn't he say she was worthy of redemption?
Absolutely.
So who was man to say that somebody is not worthy of redemption? Who was he to say that maybe he saw she was worthy of redemption if she was indeed known as that, right?
He that be without sin cast the first stone. A lot of us have some whole skeletons in our closets.
And Thunder says, no, if you need to bust a woman upside her head to gain control of your house, that's not a woman in the right mind. She's confused. Leave her and get with someone who has her mind right and knows she's a woman. Amen, brother. And Mona says, in terms of Megan and Devin, I hope they get their marriage back together because they did it the right way. And I just say that it's the devil comes to root and steal the joy of a beautiful marriage. Well, I'm also one of those people that says we blame the devil for a lot of stuff that we doing. You know what I mean? Like, is it really the devil or is it us? I don't know. And he says the video of Juanita was mad old. I'm just saying, okay. And Moni says, I agree with you, Demetri. Who will our children settle down with if they can't see a simple black man respect a black woman to marry her and respect her, and opposed to dogging her and demeaning her constantly, and vice versa, seeing a black woman respect a black man? And Olivia says, I knew that. Robin says, April is Amarian's baby mama. Oh, okay. See, I don't be knowing about none of that stuff. And Donovan, how's my feed? And Olivia says, yes, they had a show.
Getting better.
Okay. Says, yes, they had a show together too. And Sunlight says, speak for yourself, Donovan. And Charles Explosive, how you doing? Says, Dr. Dre didn't want to give his wife any money after 20 years, but had no problem giving those white people to UCLA money. Think about that. Yeah, he gave him $70 million.
Yeah, but that's what most rich people do to get their kids accepted to these certain colleges. That's what all that was about.
True. And Sean says Samuel Jackson. Yeah, him and his wife been married forever. And I'm sure it wasn't always easy, but here they are. And Sunlight, you say you are not him, period. And Robin says, what? Men don't cheat? Y'all saw my eyes get crossed, though, didn't you? Maybe you didn't because my feed was messed up, but I crossed my eyes on that one. And Yahweh says, men cheat a lot.
Statistically, in the modern era, they have proven that, again, women cheat as much as men. That's why you have these paternity issues and problems. And for some reason, the woman lobby is the only lobby that does not want a federal mandate to mandate DNA testing when the child is born. Why is that?
Now, how we get to black men don't cheat to where women cheat just as much? We didn't say they didn't. You said
right. No, I'm just saying we know men cheat, but again, we have to say both sides of the argument. I'm just saying both sides of it. Women cheat just as much. It's been proven.
Sunlight says, I guess all the happily married black men I mentioned are not men. Shaking my head. And Mona said, Donovan, tell us how in California you are enjoying it. What I heard you say it was cold there. I can never imagine California getting 20 degrees to 10 degrees, along with the new laws on the job. What do you think? I'm sorry. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I live in the desert, so it does get excessively colder than it does on the coast. So, yeah, it's pretty cold out here. I live by the mountains.
It's like 80-something degrees here. As y'all can see, I was busting a sweat earlier. And Brother Jonell says, no man wants his woman exploited before the world in degraded positions, especially while he's with her. This world is a trial on a marriage. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, she read the script. She should have said, I'm good. You know, I got to go home to my husband. And even though we're acting, you know, I should have a little bit more sense than that.
Yeah, or even if it's not in the script and the director tells you he wants this in the scene, she should have said, declined.
Right. And TJ says, Donovan, men don't cheat. Okay.
Stick with me there. Stick with me.
And Sunlight says, according to Donovan, Samuel L. Jackson is not a man. And
wait. Why wouldn't Samuel Jackson not be a man?
And Pam is jamming. How you doing? He says, greetings, Demetri, Donovan, and chat. And Al says, the best black, I think he meant movie love of all times in black love of movies, of all times in the movies is the best man holiday when Mia was dying of cancer and he was by her side. Yes, that was a really good scene.
Well, what about the scene from Why Did I Get Married when he told her to take the car and meet us at the place?
Tyler Perry be on some real BS with that one because I can't think of not one sister would have said, okay, that plane would have been upside down. Okay, upside down.
One of the best love movies of all time, especially in our era, is Love Jones, Lorenz Tate, Nia Long.
I guess I could see that. You know, I really love Mo Better Blues. I need to watch it again before it leaves. I like it. It's a love story. It's a jacked up love story. But in the end, when he got all messed up and he couldn't do what he loved, he, went after the woman who really cared about him and he pursued her and all of that. And they ended up, married and all that. But,
yeah, but it also told a story that most black men can kind of identify are selfish traits. Because remember, he was very selfish in the movie.
Yes.
And because we are selfish by nature as men, especially us black men, we sometimes overlook a good thing or we fuck over people unintentionally, but it has adverse effect to us later on down the road.
Yeah, as he said, it's a dick thing. Excuse my French. That's what they said in the movie. And somebody said that's a lie. And Howard said Samuel Jackson is a true husband to his wife, strong, and vice versa. Yes, indeed. I love what we see from them.
Yes. How many of you guys know Samuel Jackson was actually in the original play of a soldier's play?
Yeah, he's been around for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And And Monty says, but I think it's contradictory. Harvey Weinstein can abuse women and is covered up. And you have types like Oprah to defend it and Gail, but a type like Dr. Dre, he's going to get the business. Yes, indeed. Pam is jamming says it's cold and raining in Los Angeles. Yeah, I heard y'all are getting it. It's odd, really, to be that cold. Sunlight says if men don't want someone who truly is down for them, then why do they get married?
Shotgun. Guilty. You guilt us into it. We get tricked. Cheaper to keep her. All these rhythms you got to throw at us.
But y'all so strong and stuff. But y'all allow
no. To do something. Our generation is different. We're talking about these new beta males that have been coming up. Oh yeah, they don't have a chance.
Okay. And Thunder says it's amazing how the whole world praises the black woman and says how strong she is. But when I say black men stand up and take your rightful place and be strong, a strong man that history has shown us to be, everyone gets scared. No, I mean, I love strong black men. So that ain't coming from me. I love strong black men. So I ain't part of that conversation. Marty says, at the end of the day, I can care less about somebody's money that they're not giving none of it in this chat, a dime. They're not donating to our causes, and they're not making sure that our bills are paid. Good point. Olivia says Megan was not in that movie. And which movie was that?
Which movie? Because she was in Harlem. She was in Friday. She was the little girl at the ice cream truck in Friday. She's been in a lot of movies.
And Charles, you say as an actor or an actress, you don't have to do certain things. Anyone would be proud to have married Angela Bassett. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have agreed to do that at all. And Sunlight says, according to Donovan's flawed logic, men can simply rent or pay. So if they're married, they're not men, right? Oh, okay, got it. So you're saying that all they have to do is just rent or pay, I guess, to be with a woman like a prostitute or whatever. They don't need love. They can buy it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's been around for thousands of years. I'm not saying it's right. Please don't twist that. I'm not saying it's right. I'm telling you what's been going on for thousands of years and is still going on today. In Las Vegas, fact, prostitution is they said a $4 billion industry, and it's illegal in Las Vegas.
It's illegal?
Yes, in the county of Clark County in Las Vegas, prostitution is not allowed.
Oh, that's right. That's why they got to go off to the bunny ranches.
But Las Vegas makes more money in prostitution than anywhere in Las Vegas or in Nevada.
Well, that's where the most people are with the money.
Right, but do you see the hypocrisy of that whole point? Somebody's doing it.
Jafari says a woman with low self-esteem would have gone along with it. Good point. Facts Not Feeling says man goes to Israel to reunite with his wife. It did not work. She took him to court. He has to pay $3.2 million in back child support and spousal support, or he is banned from leaving the country for 8,000 years. What the hell? And Old School says Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn is not married and they've been together for years. Yeah, some people just like, we don't need to get married. I'm sure they got their legal ducks in a row though, right? I mean, Oprah and Stedman aren't married either.
Yeah, well, wasn't Tim Robbins and Susan Sarandon? They were together for years, and then they broke up, and they went their separate ways. No courts involved. They just said, "Hey, I'm over here, you're over there." They have kids and everything.
Yeah, and Facts Not Feeling say, "Don't get married." Sounds like you kind of had a bad experience. And Jonelle, he says, "Right, Queen. She read the script. You're married. You should understand the bounds and limits. Make others respect your marriage when they exceed the limits, like that movie Tyler Perry, The Temptations. Imagine how many women Samuel L. Jackson had to reject." Yeah, I mean, there's certain things I'm not going to do that. That's disgusting, first of all, okay? And Gavetta says, I want the repatriation. I want the repatriation due to the Black First community. As far as these rich, wealthy people that have no earthly clue of what's going on in my world, I have no sympathy for any of them. No, I don't feel sorry for them. I mean, they're rich people regardless. And Mona says, I don't know if Megan Good tossed anybody's salad or not. She's a beautiful, classy kind of lady. I would never seen her in any role. I think men do that, but the ones that own it, it depicts us negatively and is their objective. Well, from what I understand, in the new series Harlem, she did that. So it sounded like she had the dude's legs all behind his head, and it's like,
I guess the scene started out, she was supposed to give him fellatio, and he lifted his legs, and I don't know. I didn't see it, but I saw the clips of it. But
And Al says, please watch the movie Sunset Limited with Samuel L. Jackson and Tommy Lee Jones. Will do. And Olivia says the second movie that Donovan mentioned, she was not in that movie.
She was in Friday. Yes, she was. She was in Friday. She was the little girl at the ice cream truck.
And Yahweh says, a true sister smells good, good hygiene, natural, lovely, humble, healthy, word up. Yes, indeed. I agree with you 100% on that. And Robin says, wow. And you also say, Yahweh, men leave other men's women alone and vice versa. You need to say that again for the ones in the back. If she with somebody or he's with somebody, leave them alone. Why would you want somebody else's, what somebody else has? Wait till they're available before you pursue that. Because, I mean, you just bring a lot of negative things into your life when you do those type of things. And you know what I also find too? It'd be the ones that's toting around Bibles that's doing that the most. I'm just putting that out there. And Leo's son says, Megan Good was in one of my all-time favorite films called Eve's Bayou. Excellent film with Samuel Jackson, Debbie Morgan, Lynn Whitfield, and Journey Smollett. Yes, indeed. And Sunlight says, again, if men rent or buy and don't need a true one, then the men who are married aren't men. That's what you're conveying, right?
No, I never said that men that are married aren't men. I never said that.
Jonas says a lot of
See,
women.
we only hear what we want to hear. We only hear we want to hear so we can argue. Men that are married are more men than men that have to go buy it because they have it in house. That's the perfect situation. Wouldn't that be correct?
Jonas says a lot of women must learn to be women and stop wearing man drawers. Just as some men need to wear their own drawers and stop wearing panties and wigs. We need to get black to our roles and nature and stop being deceived and misguided and confused by this world. I totally agree with you. And Yahweh says sex is marriage. Okay. I think that a woman should have no problem in having DNA done one if she doesn't she doesn't want to do that. I think that lets you know it's a problem. But at the end of the day, and Thunder says, and the women who are scared of strong black men taking control of his home are the same black women who are benefiting from the dysfunction of a broken black family structure that places her above the pile of rubble. Okay. And Charles says, Donovan, notice how women always talk about their wedding day when it's the last time you hear a guy talk about his wedding day. Never.
Almost never. Almost never.
Well, don't they say that the wedding is really for the bride? Like it's because they say it's her day, right? Have you ever heard that expression? It's her day. It's you're getting your day or whatever the case is. And so I don't know. And Leo, you say, when I was young, I wanted to be married. Now I agree with Donovan. But we need to change you brothers' minds. You all should, maybe just need to get a better understanding of marriage and be careful with who you are getting in relationships with.
No, what we need to do is, I think we need to change the laws. If you change the laws and incentivize it to where it is a good thing to be married, then maybe more people would do it. But when you make the laws where it's easy to get out of it and the man just gets slammed no matter what, guess what? More and more men are going to be like, you know what? There's nothing advantageous about me being in this union.
Brother Jonelle, can you hit us with settle down to a good choice? We need your wisdom right now. We need that.
Both sides. No, we know that, but that's on both sides. That's what I'm saying. That's on both sides.
Settle down with a good choice. Y'all wait. Y'all like to bring up Big Mama and them. Oh, they stayed together forever. What's working? What's different for them than now? You don't think Big Daddy
put his foot down and put his foot in her ass when needed to?
I'm waiting for my ladies to come through. Marty says, on both sides of the argument, Donovan, men cheat on a good woman. Look at the show Cheaters. That's not to say a woman can't cheat, because a lot of skanks do cheat on good men.
Yeah. We have shows like Paternity Court. What is all that about? Yeah.
Right. Don said, I know Dr. Dre, he was always kind to me, and the industry hasn't changed. I would have been working for his label. That was in 2003. We had an interesting conversation about my time at UC Berkeley. Okay, cool. And Robin says, Megan ate all his groceries. Her husband couldn't handle it. Yeah.
Wait. Are you talking about the husband or the scene?
On the scene.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, that's pretty disgusting. And Jonelle says, Megan Good was 13 years old in the movie Friday. Okay. And Olivia, I have to check it out again because I don't remember. Olivia says, must have been Trick Daddy. You didn't say Friday. You mentioned the Tyler Perry movie. I hate when you try to switch it up when you realize you're wrong about something.
No, I didn't. No, I never antiquated Megan Good with the Tyler Perry movie. I never did that.
Got it.
Go back and read the feed, because no, she I don't even know her being in a Tyler Perry movie.
And somebody says, you said men don't want a true one. They don't need that. Do you even know what you say? So that's somebody else saying, Donovan. Somebody says, never mind.
No. I don't even sound like that. I said a man wants a true one. I don't speak like that.
And
I don't speak like that.
Thunder says, did you see the black woman on Steve Harvey saying she wants a 2-household marriage and she can't under
she wants the man to live in one house and she live in the other. Yeah,
she can't be under a man 24 hours a day. That this is what a lot of women feel towards black men in marriage. That's ridiculous to me. I mean, I understand people want their space. I get that, but to live in a separate house is like, what's the point? Why bother? I don't get it. And ridiculous. Thought says for most men, the wedding day is a blur. Laugh out loud. Cause yeah, he's like, shit, this is, and most men ain't into the, okay, we're going to have these type of flowers. And then what about what your bridesmaids wearing? They're like, just I'm just going to go to the tuxedo shop, tell my boys where to go, and y'all handle all the rest of the stuff.
Yeah. When I got married the first time, all I was there to do was to write the checks. That was it.
And Facts Not Feeling says, in today's world, escorts way cheaper than cheaper to keep her. And then we're going to end up seeing y'all black asses on the story on the African Diaspora News Channel. Y'all getting hit over y'all head for
getting robbed and set up.
I'm just saying it. But somebody going to say, well, it's still cheaper than what Dr. Dre had to go through. And you also say, yep, the laws are a problem. And Sunlight says, it's not our job to restore faith in marriage or women or black women and vice versa. And Olivia says, Demetri, you don't have a muzzle for him.
Well, again, okay. One of the problems, and Demetri says this last week.
Yeah, I do.
No, yeah. Wait, check this out. Me and Demetri were talking about this all the time, and we were having a serious conversation. The problem in most couples, I don't care if you're black, white, whatever, is that we do not listen and communicate to each other properly.
No, we don't. We don't. And as I said on the African Diaspora News Channel, we as humans are horrible at communicating. We don't really want to listen to each other. We want to be heard, right? So anyway, Gavetta says, my question is for the people that feel some way about marriage. What is the Black first community teaching the generation after us? Other ethnicities believe in marriage. Why do we not? That is a very good question. And Thunder says, see, she said she didn't even want to be in the same house as her husband. This is because she doesn't want to be a wife. She just wants the title and not the responsibilities. Yeah, the title, and she wants the benefits from being married to somebody. But yeah, I don't understand why any man would agree to something like that. You have your own house, and I mean, that's stupid. And TJ says, married men don't have to buy it. What is it? We are whole people, not pleasure bots. Good point. Yeah, like it detached the it from the rest of the woman, right?
Well, women do that as well. They detach a lot of it from themselves.
Facts Not Feeling says, every woman that I was ever involved with, including my ex, cheated on me. Yeah, you know what? It is unfortunate. I hear a lot of men say that everybody they've been with cheated on them. And it's sad that a lot of people do have that story of being in relationships with people who have been unfaithful. And what people don't realize is that, yeah, so, I mean, I can see how you feel, Facts Not Feelings. That can leave a lot of trust issues. Like, I'm not putting myself through that again. I'm good, but I'm so sorry that happened to you. Hopefully one day a woman will come along and prove to you that she will never hurt you in that manner. And Leo Sun says, change the laws. You already get a tax break for married filing joint. Married men live longer than single men. If incomes are the same, neither party will get dragged if a divorce occurs.
Right. Leo Sun, you're absolutely correct. But again, we're in the real world. How often does that actually happen? How often does that, especially in the Black community, how often does that actually happen?
But the other point that she made, which I really love, is married men do live longer than single men, because you're going to have a wife that's going to look after you. She's worth her weight. She's going to make sure you eat right, and you're doing the things you're supposed to be doing. You're healthy. You're making your doctor's appointments, because I said you men don't like going to the doctor. She's going to look after you. She going to make sure.
I ain't got a wife.
Well, yeah, I mean, but you're an anomaly. But having a woman, she going to see some things that you may overlook. You know what I mean? So I really love that part. And so let's see here. Olivia said, yes, she did. I know she was in Friday. I believe she was 13. I'll go back and mention it in the comments later. And Sunlight said, stop playing games. You heard what I said, and I said that's not true. Stop being ridiculous or dodging is blatantly obvious.
No. I might have said not true. The way you worded it previously was like a slang type. I don't talk slang like that.
Thunder says, and when the audience said, what the hell? She said, don't judge me. What the hell? This is the mentality that has the Black community screwed up. Yeah, that's stupid. And I don't like to use that word lightly, but that is just very, very dumb. Like, why even bother? And Robbie say, right. And hey, Frank, what's going on with you? Long time no see. You say, what's up? And Monty says, so Donovan, Why then is Devin trying to divorce Megan? Seems like she still is a good catch. I hope their marriage works out. I'd like to see beautiful Black couples stay together. God is in the midst.
Well, again, Devon is a preacher, and he's into the I believe he's into the church world, and that doesn't. His message would be watered down if you're seeing his wife doing these things. It's like a mixed message, I would think.
Yeah, can't argue with you there. And Janelle says the root of any foundation in your choice. If you don't have the best awareness and actual facts, truth, you truly can't make a good choice. Our future is rooted in the choices we make today. As the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, settle down to a good choice. So our wealth is in our choices. You can't marry a whore and think all will be sunshine. Just as women shouldn't be submissive to a fool. Awareness is the power of a good choice. May we all embody the truth and marry a good future as, and your comment cut off. I want to finish reading it, but it cut off. But there you go. That's what I was looking for. Settle down to a good choice. And in order to make a good choice, you have to think wisely about the choice that you are making. As you said, don't marry somebody who is lackluster and then cry about the lackluster treatment they're giving you. It's like, duh, right?
Wait. Before you get to that, what were you saying today? You're going to change it from what's behind the booty to what?
What's behind the BBL?
Yeah.
And I said something else, but I can't say that on here. And Anita says marriage is promoted and encouraged in Africa. Yes, indeed. And Frank says, Demetri Donovan, what's up, everything? How are you doing? And Olivia says, we listen over here, but when you keep trying to say the worst things about us as women, and we in this group at least know that we are not like that, what is your point? We don't want to hear that.
See, but here's the thing, Olivia. Here's the thing. We don't generalize everybody. If you can't take certain things out, because what is that you say, Demetria? Only a dog that gets hit cries out.
Oh, when a rock is thrown into a crowd, the one that hollers is the one that got hit.
Yeah. Like I said, if it doesn't fit, let it pass on by, whatever you want to say it. But this platform here, again, and we love you guys having here. Like you said, you don't want to hear that. I'm not saying this to be rude. Don't get me wrong. But you have a choice either to enjoy with us and enjoy the banter or, do other things.
Well, we want to keep Olivia here, but I hear what she's saying. She's saying that the women in this chat are not like that.
And I never said they were.
Right. I'm just, brother, I'm just expounding on what she said.
Right. But I said that earlier. This isn't applying to everybody.
Got it.
It isn't everybody. And see, that's what I'm saying. The minute a Black man, and I'm just saying for me, that I notice as a Black man, when I say something that is my point, look how quickly Black women want to shut me down. Look how quick. And you guys all get on. No, I'm not crying about it. I'm not crying about it. No. But this proves my point. You guys have a universal playbook on how to respond to the bullshit. You have a universal playbook to keep your bullshit on top.
I'm gonna let them respond to that so I can get to these comments because I know it's gonna be. Olivia says, where is the positivity? And sound like baggage, and baggage is a personal problem, no one else's. And Leo's son says, that happened to me, Donovan. And Thunder says, a lot of time I think they ask for these crazy things like height and salary because they know down inside they can't have it, and they know they don't deserve it, and they know they can't keep it. Okay. And I says, let's take a poll. Whose parents were married? Women who had married parents feel differently about marriage. I had married parents. My weird. My hand is. I had married parents. My parents, my mom and my biological father got divorced, and then she married my stepfather. And so I've always lived in a 2-parent household. I've always seen a mom and dad, husband and wife dynamic when I was growing up into my adulthood.
Yeah, I was conceived in a marriage. Yeah, my mom's a widower. So yeah.
And Jafar says, when you are not a woman who wants to look through your man's phone or is always clocking their man, they're often cheated on. I am here to tell you. So he says, when you're not a woman who wants to look through your man's phone or is always clocking their men, they are often cheated on. I am here to tell you. So you're saying that when you don't look through your man's phone, you're cheated on. Is that what you're saying? Clarify so I can get that clear. Olivia says the lies. And Jafai says, my parents are married. So you see marriage a lot differently. And Sunlight says, I said it. I said it. You did. You said it was not true. Stop playing games. Your analysis is obviously incorrect, and you are projecting your own personal thoughts. So just stop.
Wait. That's what this show's about. I'm projecting my own personal thoughts. That's what about it? Don't you guys understand? We're not reading a script here.
Got it. And so I think Don, you're watching the playback. You said, I love Jones. I mean, I'm sorry, I agree, Donovan. Love Jones. I don't know where I was getting all that from. And Mona says, and you already understand why Oprah is really never married him, because she is really in love with Gail. Oh my God. Though Gail is married on paper, well, Oprah is the wrong person to counsel anybody. Okay. Gilberto says the problem with black men and black women is that we can't communicate with each other. It's a power struggle. Yeah. And I'm telling you, as a black woman, I do not want to be in control. I do not want to be the leader of my relationship. I would like to leave that to my man. I'm just saying. But you're absolutely right. And Jafai says, word on the curb is that Devon is divorcing Megan because he wants children and she does not. Okay, well, that could be a deal breaker, but I think that's kind of something they probably should have talked about before they got married. I don't know. And Leonard says she couldn't fight being a Jezebel any longer. You're talking about Megan. And Jafai says, I meant a woman who doesn't want to look through her man's phone. So he's saying a woman who doesn't want to look through her man's phone ends up getting cheated on anyway. Is that what you're saying? And Maureen says, I don't think Megan is just a Jezebel. I mean, she had her own career. She might have her own quarrels about a child, but she is rich. So it's not like her child would have to go without. She should have tried. Okay. And Charles says, we don't believe in marriage because we have allowed other people to devalue the black family. And now it's normal to us. Yeah, we think it's normal to not get along. Great point. Sunlight says emotional much.
I don't get emotional. Like I said, I love these conversations. Like I said, believe it or not, a lot of stuff that you guys say, I do think about it and I try to adjust accordingly.
And Sunlight says, it would be tolerated if we came here bashing black men. Jafai says, Donovan, you stirred these women up and now you are being defensive. Laugh out loud. Stop whining. And Thunder says, has anyone noticed that Ghislaine Maxwell trial has been extremely quiet? You would figure that this would be on every channel like they did Dr. Cosby. Oh, hell no. Because she got a lot of people's names.
Yeah, she's got lists and names that they want to get her up and get her convicted and into the jail.
Right. Or something else happened to her. And Leonard says a matriarchy, like I said. And let's see, Frankie say, agreed. And Warrior Scholar, how you doing? He says, Donovan isn't being defensive. He should keep doing the right thing and not allow you white supremacists and blackface to bully him. Ooh.
We are having a heated discussion, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm going to keep reading. Leo's son says, my parents were married, grandparents too. All of my aunts and uncles were married except for one. I would say for the most part, that was true in my case as well. And Sunlight says, but some men think they're entitled to bashing and we should take it. And
here's one thing I do know. There's no way I would be on this show and I'm bashing black women with Demetria right next to me. There's one thing I do know.
That is true. I will say for the most part, that is true. I'm not near him, so I can't elbow him like I used to. So forgive me. And Olivia says, your mentality is truly effed up. Ooh, Jesus. Woo, Donovan. You going to be all right after this? You went to 16 tours of duty. I think this is the 17th one.
Yeah, I will definitely be okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But again, we hear what we want to hear.
This is your 17th tour of duty, by the way. And as Sunlight says, then don't say men, don't say you don't. You got the right one. Olivia says this is more bothersome than anything at this point. That is more bothersome than anything at this point, Donovan. And Frankie say that is a statement I don't agree with. Jafai, okay, Gilvetta say, as always, enjoyed the conversation. Black First Fam, have a great evening. I'll come back to the tail end of the conversation. Yes, indeed, and you do the same. And Sunlight says, stop lying. Warrior Scholar says Olivia is confirming the fact that Don is on point. And Anais says, I just want to lead in the bedroom, cowgirl strong. I don't want to lead in the household. Okay. I'm gonna leave it at that. And Charles says, I feel like I must be slow. What's a BBL? A Brazilian butt lift, I think. Uh, and Easy says, peace out, D Donovan. See you Friday, maybe, but Sunday for sure. Sunday for sure. And please have a great evening. And Moni says, my grandmother was married to my step grandmother over 65 years before my grandfather passed away in 2016. My grandmother has always been a dominant type of woman, took no smack off of a man ever. Oh. And Moni says, but Donovan, y'all talking about Megan Good like she really performed this act and it was just make believe. Why would you leave a woman? But I heard it's because she wasn't ready for children just yet. And let's see here. And Charles says, we have to be able to speak freely and listen to each other, even if we don't agree. I totally agree with you on that. And Robin says he is triggered for some reason, comes to chat all late and wrong and just starts slinging daggers. You talking about Warrior Scholar? Warrior Scholar. And Moho, how you doing? He says she didn't get enough money. Says she should have got more. Talking about Nicole and Dr. Dre. And how you doing, by the way? And Moni says, at the end of the day, when you are financially stable, that's a good time to have children. And she is so, she's in her late 30s, early 40s. I just hope she'll be okay and they can get back together.
Wait. Why did you skip over Charles's comment?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I read it. Sorry about that. Says Charles Demetra, why you doing Don? Now, see, y'all think I skipped that one on purpose. I didn't. Demetra, why you doing Donovan like that with the crying? This is really an issue for a lot of us Black men and our women to realize that. Well, first of all, I was just kidding. And Donovan knows I was joking. I'm sorry if y'all thought I was serious. I was just... You want to be... I was just kidding. Honestly, I was. I really believe that everybody should be heard. And, speak their mind. I mean, we're not always going to agree on everything, but that's what makes the world go round. But I think we in the Black community need to shorten our disagreement gaps, because unfortunately the things that we do disagree on is harming our community, if that makes any sense. And Anita says, after the show, I've got to go hear an update on this Donovan laugh out loud. And Sunlight says, yep, it's a free thinking space. However, some don't really think people are entitled to speak their minds unless they agree. And Yahweh says, get on down. And Sunlight says, no, you can't joke or laugh here. It's offensive. Well, anyway, I have come to the end of the comment. And unfortunately, this is going to be the last show, you guys. This is our very last show for this year. Got you guys. It's the last show of this year. As you guys know, New Year's, I think it's Saturday or something like that. So anyway, on to bigger and better things in 2022. I don't know what we'll do here, but I'm sure they're going to think about it in the next couple of days to see how we can make the show go farther and spark some really more good, genuine conversation. And so if we don't talk to you guys before the new year, please have a great and safe New Year's Eve and all of that. You guys know the Rona is still running around and it's kicking ass and taking names. I know quite a few people who are starting to get it. So you guys do be careful out there. I hate that my feed is acting up. But anyway,
your feed is fine. Go ahead.
Oh, it's fine. So anyway, as we leave out of here, if you guys want to make a donation to Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, or become a member or join the Super Chat, we would greatly appreciate that. Everything that you donate does help in supporting this channel, as we do have some fees that we have to take care of. I have to pay for the platform here, StreamYard, and I do pay someone to help us with the show, and other things that come with it. So if you guys we would love and appreciate you for doing that. And I'm going to give it to Donovan, and I'll read you guys' comments before we get out of here.
Get that block game strong. And again, Happy New Year, everybody. Again, this is a conversation that we have, and some people aren't going to agree, and that's perfectly fine. And, this is where it starts out. I mean, this is how we have to do it. So it's not a big deal. But there's something I wanted to say, and you made me forget. But that's what I wanted to say. Bojangles Clyburn just gave Remember, I told you guys a couple months ago, he introduced a bill to give the Indian people $51 billion or something like that. The bill got passed by executive order. No questions asked. More money for Indians. He wasn't an add-on sponsor. He was the sponsor of the bill. He could do that for Indians and won't do a damn thing for Black people.
Don't you feel like we're being punked or something? Like, what's really going on here, right? So anyway, we can have that discussion on another date, but that is absolutely unfortunately and true. And you guys thought I was serious. I was just kidding. This is the last show of this year. It's not the last show ever. So I apologize for being an a-hole.
I won't apologize.
I'm sorry for that. And Brother Simon says he was married to her for 25 years. That was a generous payment, and he gets to keep everything he paid for it to her to go away. Absolutely. I'm just kidding. I was not the last show. It's the last show of the year, so I was just being funny, but clearly it wasn't funny. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys. We love and appreciate you guys as always. I see y'all comments. See y'all next year. And have a great evening. And thank you, Marcus, for everything that you're doing on Facebook. I saw Olivia's comment. I'll let Donovan read that one.
I read it.